All right. Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of the O&G StrikeZone. I thought my broadcast partner, Kelvin Rozier, was going to be on the screen with me, but I don't know what happened to my dog. Kelvin somehow dropped off the screen right as we were going live. Another beautiful way to start the show. So I guess it's me saying hello to everybody joining us, checking in from wherever and however you're watching us. Want to say hello to everybody watching on YouTube, my JBN online, or the O&G StrikeZone YouTube page. Also, hello to everybody watching on Facebook, facebook.com, the Black College Sports Network Facebook page, my BCSN1. Also to the folks watching on Instagram Live who might be checking us out. Their Instagram Live is running. I think Instagram Live is running. Yep, it is running. Also to everybody watching on Twitter as well. So as soon as we get Kelvin back in, we'll have Kelvin on the show. And without further ado, here's my dog, Kelvin Rozier. Welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. How you doing, brother?
Hello, is this thing on?
Look,
man, as soon as you went into the promo, man, the bringer zone, I don't know what happened, man. One screen went out and I couldn't hear. I said, well, let me just go reboot. So yeah, man, all is well, man. It's good to see the brothers. The season of love, Valentine coming up.
Yeah. Hey, I'd start the show and I see my beautiful mug on the screen. I know we probably lost a few viewers, and but hopefully they'll come back now. And now that they see your beautiful face, it's like, oh man, okay. Jesus, I thought we were gonna have to listen and look at Bryan for a whole half hour, an hour. That's not gonna be fun for anybody.
Cupid is shooting his arrow.
Yeah, I guess. Damn him. All right. Well, trying to get everything squared away here on the different social media platforms. I did send out a tweet, so anybody who might be watching, I don't know, Twitter must be having a day or something, man. I was trying to send out the tweet or the post, I guess, as the kids call it these days, on socials, just to let people know, hey, we're here. But it is what it is. So, but anyway, we got a good show, loaded show for you guys tonight on this beautiful Wednesday, as Kelvin said, a few days before Valentine's Day weekend. Hopefully, hopefully Kelvin Rozier will come in later in the show, and he and Marcus Green will give you married men tips on how to make sure you do Valentine's Day right on a busy sports weekend. Don't ask me for no tips and suggestions. I can't help you. So
neither can I.
Maybe Kelvin and Marcus.
I got to keep my own household tight. That's about it.
You see, can't give no advice when your own house ain't right.
I'm just working on mine, bro.
Okay, man. Okay. Well, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we've got our head track director of the track and field cross country program, Coach Garfield, Ellenwood. Coach G will come on because we are fresh out of the last 2 weekends in which the track and field men and women have competed in their last 2 tune-up events or meets, I should say, prior to the SWAC indoor tournament, which is next weekend. Correct, Kelvin? Next weekend in Birmingham.
That is correct.
Right.
And it should be extremely competitive.
Yes, I can't wait to talk to Coach. I think this is I think we're going into Birmingham with our most competitive men's team. And I hope I'm right on that. I can't wait to talk to Coach about that and see how he feels about this. We know the ladies are going to show up because we got some of the baddest runners, and I can't wait to talk about some names that we haven't really talked about previous, and some of the returning veterans. We haven't heard much from them, but I expect them to be there and be running next week. But we'll find out from Coach. But either way, we got a talented roster on the men and women's side. So we'll get a chance to talk to him about the strategy and all that goes into getting ready for the SWAC indoor. We've also coming up in hour 2, our good friend Keith from FangsUp Podcast is going to join us. Marcus Green will be joining us as well, coming into his normal spot in the hour number 2. And then at the bottom half of hour 2, we're going to talk FAMU hoops with our favorite friend, LivForHoops. Olivia is going to join the show. Liv Antilla, hashtag AKA LivForHoops, coming in. Wow, FAMU basketball is, dare I say, back on track, Kelvin?
It's an experience, man.
Man,
I mean, yeah, it reels you in. It keeps your interest.
I know, man. The women seem to have found their shooting touch. The men go from not being able to throw the ball in the ocean on the beach one game to all of a sudden they can't miss the next game.
From 3-point range, man.
I have no idea.
Is that a record for 3 points? With over 10 tries in a game.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I know we did set. I don't know if it was a record, but we hit a mark that we haven't hit in about a decade in that game on Monday night. And we, like I said, in 20 minutes we scored more points than we did in 40 the night before. So I'm can't wait to talk about that with Liv in hour 2. Also got some softball to talk about, as softball's off to a good start. Playing really competitive, hitting the heck out of the ball right now. We'll talk about their most recent,
really good.
Most recent trip up to Campbell. They only got to play 4 as the 5th game got rain delayed. They had the home opener yesterday at Veronica Wiggins Field against Marshall, a very, very competitive game in which guess who threw out the first pitch of the season? Coach Wiggins threw out the first pitch.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Coach?
Yeah. And I believe that it was on SWAC TV. So hopefully you got a chance to watch it. At least that's what I'm told. I haven't had a chance to find the replay, but I did see it and I heard that people watched it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's good. The baseball season is about to start as well. So we'll talk about the baseball season starting up this weekend. And how about the bowling team? I mean, look, we had that great interview with Coach Williams. And then, man, all the ladies did is go out to
Huntsville.
Bowled their tail off. Very competitive in the opening day. Played really well in day 2 and 3, and they have earned themselves a spot into the SWAC tournament. We'll talk about that. So lots of stuff to talk about. Even Coach Gokhan out there at the 220 Club, man, he being the representative for the athletic department, man. Talk about don't tell me our coaches don't pay attention to each other, because they do.
He is GOAT-Con for a reason.
The man went out there, and not only was he pumping up his sport, but he's talking about everybody's sport. I love it. I love it to see the attention and the care to be able to go out and be knowledgeable and talk about what everybody else is doing. Just goes to how strong the athletic program as a whole is. That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right, Kay. Well, let's get into some shout-outs. Well, we got the folks in the chat. I think I've given enough time to get a few people on in the chats. If not, you still got a few minutes to join as we go through the roll call. First one in the building in the chats, none other than your
Ken and Alice.
Ken checking in. What's good, Ken? And if not first, always. What up, Bull? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Kelvin always finds his way in there.
Hello, beautiful people.
Jumping in a little early. Ashton Harris, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Checking in from Pete Cola. Melissa Wilson checking in. All right, Doc, good to see you. Thank you for checking in from the Northeast.
Hey, Meredith.
Meredith checking in. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well. Gail from Cleveland. How's the weather, Gail? How's the weather? Has it gotten any colder or is it warmed up by a few degrees?
All right, Gail, you got one more. You got the rest of this month and maybe the first week of March, and it's time for you to come back now. I expect to see you at some baseball, softball games.
True that. Marvin Allen, good to see you, Marvin. Thanks for checking in.
What's up, Marvin?
305. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. EA checking in. Good to see EA. Ready to get his thing going. Ezekiel Love, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. B Starks, thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Appreciate you. Makiba West, also another JBN subscriber. Appreciate you. Iria checking in from the Carolinas.
Iria, did you thaw yet? Iria had a heater at the game. She went to the softball game. I told her I had never seen a heater at a game.
Hey, but that's an outdoor sport mom right there. She kept it real.
She was ready.
She was ready. She was ready. Well, I was bugging when I saw it. I said, "What the heater? Get out of here!" Hey, you got to keep it real. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Tamara T checking in. Good to see you, Tamara. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Good to see my boy Tony in the house. Checking in. Good to see you. Little baby, what up?
Hey, little baby.
JT coming in.
What's going on, JT?
What's good with you? Let's see. VM Matt checking in.
What's up, VM Matt?
Good to see you. Hello, checking in.
Hello.
Ron Jab in the building, checking in from Facebook. Good to see you checking in. No game here, VM Matt. None whatsoever, brother. None whatsoever.
No,
nothing.
Player. From the Himalaya.
Mr. Campbell, Coach Campbell, Reverend Steve in the house. Good to see you. 88 representing. Jasmine Adams, Monk.
Hey, we got you, Jasmine.
All right.
You want to talk some bowling?
Oh, definitely. Want to talk some college bowling. Yeah.
We're going to talk some FAMU bowling anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the College Bowling Network, College Bowling on X. Doing a great job, man. Love the content of keeping doing it better than some, but that's what we need. We need sites.
I love it, man. People who love a sport and they cover it, man, professionally. It's just, I mean, HBCU sports is growing, man. There's a lot of platforms coming online.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. Folks like college bowling, HBCU track and field, HBCU softball. All those sites that are. Yeah,
we get your own, Jasmine.
Black College Nines, all those those sites that cover the non-primaries, or what do you say, the non-revenues, whatever you want to call them, football, basketball, but all the sports,
Did you? Since you mentioned non-revenues, did you see the article I sent with Alabama?
I did not get a chance to look at it. I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to read it.
So essentially, their Olympic sports, they're losing $40 million a year.
The University of Alabama.
Yep. They lost $40 million, but they make it up in football.
Well, thank you. That's why I'm glad you said that, because that's where I was going to go. They're making it up in football. They have, that SEC TV money is just outrageous. So
I was surprised to see that, though. The only two sports for last year that made money, or the year that they reported, the only two that made money was men's basketball and football, of course.
I mean,
all the other sports ran $1 million deficit.
Well, it's a fascinating discussion. It goes into budgeting, the finance of college athletics. And I tend to think, Kelvin, and you tell me if I'm wrong, for a lot of those non-revenue sports, it's almost like you have to survive with sponsorship and that sponsorship being outside entities, maybe entities outside of what already cover and support your main sports,
But you don't have ticket sales and some of the traditional revenue lines for a lot of those sports. So it depends if you got some sponsorships, but it still ain't gonna cover uh, the operations and equipment, maintenance, staff, scholarships of there are some sports some schools that generate revenue in other sports though, like Nebraska in volleyball, Florida State in softball, but that is not the norm. Generally, football and basketball, men's and women's, the only one that generate any kind of revenue.
But what I think needs to be studied and researched, what did those programs do to create that revenue? What was it that Nebraska
TV.
volleyball did? Where did
they run a deficit? I just told you they run a deficit, but the bulk of did you see what a SEC $75 million distribution each school?
Yeah, each school
$75 million.
So we can no longer be surprised when we see Vanderbilt being competitive because they're not poor.
Right.
It's not poor old Vanderbilt. No,
Vanderbilt. And they have a black lady, and they have a black lady leading them too. So
yes, they do. Yeah, man. So, man, I tell you, it's a fascinating discussion to watch. It, how do we manage to scale with what we have? And I think we have a great opportunity with I'm gonna say it, SWAC TV. I'm just gonna, we talked about it. Keep it real.
You gotta invest in it.
Got to invest in it. True that. Hollow, I thought Hollow said it wasn't on SWAC TV, the softball game. I thought it was.
I don't know where someone said they was watching it. I don't know where they was watching it. I imagine if they were doing it, it was YouTube.
I saw it on the menu. I spoke with somebody saying it was on, but I'll take your guys' word for it if you say you didn't see it. Okay.
I think it went off though at a certain time. It didn't go to the ninth inning.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Shout out Joel. Good to see you, Joel. Thank you for checking in. Sam, good to see you.
Gilbert?
Yeah, it's been a minute. Good to have you, brother. Thank you for checking in. Gail said she's out packing to leave Wednesday. All right.
I'm talking about. I see you at the game Thursday and Saturday. No, next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week. Yes, indeed. What up, Marcus? Good to see you, Marcus. Checking in from Middle Georgia.
What's going on, Marcus?
Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Iria said they got up to 65 today. Yeah. It was a little warm down here in Florida too. I think we're starting to thaw out too. Checking in, Black Rain 390. All right, thank you for checking in. Good to see you. All right, Kerry Daniels checking in. Good to see you.
What's up, Kerry?
EA said he's skeptical about those numbers.
Yeah, that's the official report. That's all we can go by.
Shaco checking in from Tampa. Good to see you.
What's up? Rattlemania.
Good to see you. Well, like I said, we got a few more minutes here. Let's open the show and kind of talk about the open of the 2025 softball season as the Rattlers traveled up to Campbell. Is it Bowie's Creek, North Carolina? Bowie's Creek. Is that what I said?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. All right. Bowie's Creek, North Carolina, where we open up the season against the MEAC favorite, the preseason favorite in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, Howard University. And what an outstanding contest this was. We had a little bit of everything in this contest. Of course, the Rattlers played 2 on the first day up there. Friday, they played Howard, ended up beating Howard by a score of 6-5. It took a seventh inning, we had to kind of secure the lead as we gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the second. Then managed to come back in the top of the third, put 2 on the board, scored in the top of the fourth, top of the fifth to have a 4-2 lead. But then Howard tied it up in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we go 4-4, scoreless 6th inning. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and a pair of RBIs in the top of the 7th. I want to make sure I give, I think it was Jordan Douglas and Kaylee Spooner came through. And let me look at I was live tweeting when it happened. So I want to make sure I give the ladies their props. Yep, Jordan Douglas, who got a triple, bringing in a run. And then Kaylee Spooner got a sac fly to bring in Jordan Douglas. And we had a 6-4 lead. Zoriana Hughes came in the bottom of the 7th after Howard had just scored a run to cut the lead to 1. Zoe came in to close it up, and she got the save with 1 out and a runner aboard to close it up as FAMU ended up getting the 6-5 win. Samantha got the Samantha Smith got the win. I don't know if they do saves in softball. I would imagine they do, but Zoe probably got the save. Should have at least. But we had 11 hits in the contest, though, Kelvin. 6 runs on 11 hits. And then in game number 2 against Campbell, we actually out-hit Campbell 10-9. But we gave up 2 6-run innings. 6 runs in the bottom of the second, 6 more runs in the fourth, ended up losing 12-4, but we did out-hit them and committed no errors in that contest. What are your thoughts there on the opening day?
You're gonna have me say this about a lot of the teams tonight. New team, I mean, a lot of returners, but still new team, new positions in some cases. So early is about, trying to play clean and starting to get into, competitive shape and mental competitive shape. And obviously, all the games we played thus far, I hit it and it's been on point. We've scored well. We've hit the ball well. So that's great. We're probably, because we have 5 or 6 arms now, we're probably experimenting a little bit with some of the pitching. But I know when it's ice cold, as it was in North Carolina, I imagine it's a little bit more difficult. And I look forward to seeing what they do at the HBCU tournament in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah. On day 2, Saturday was practically a repeat of day 1 in terms of the opponents. We started earlier in the day against Howard in day 1. And once again, that one went all the way into the 7th inning as we jumped out on Howard early. We were the home team, so we got the bottom half of the innings on the early Saturday morning day and got off to a quick 2-0 lead. But once again, we gave up some huge runs in 2 particular innings. Top of the second, we gave up 5. And then we gave up another 5 spot in the top of the 5th. We're down 10-4 going into the bottom of the 5th. And that's when the bats got hot. We put 4 up in the bottom of the 5th, put another 2 up in the 6th. So we go to the 7th inning, all tied up at 10. Unfortunately, gave up 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Ended up losing to Howard 12-10. We both teams had 10 hits in the contest. We did commit 3 errors in that game against Howard, and then had to come back later in the day, play Campbell, and gave up 5 runs in 3 different innings. Ended up losing 15-4. Never did get the 5th game of that scheduled 5-game tournament. We were supposed to play Tennessee Tech, but that game got canceled on Sunday.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, it did get canceled. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell like what I missed. Yeah, it did get canceled. So we never got, and I think we would have beat Tennessee Tech. That's in terms of just adding points, just seeing who they had lost to earlier in the week. I think
they had lost everybody. They 0-4 or something like that.
Yeah, might have been ready to go. Who knows? But the coming into today though, yesterday rather, home opener against Marshall University. The Marshall Thundering Herd, as they are nicknamed. FAMU got off to a good 2-0 lead with 2 runs scored in the bottom of the first half, thanks to a Jamison Townsend double that brought in Ciara Maple. Then Amari Brown double to right, brought Townsend in, so we jumped on him 2-0. Gave up a 2-run homer, though, in the top of the third inning. And so the score was tied up 2-2 for several innings. I mean, I think, did Zoe pitch this whole game, Zoriana Hughes? I think so. Yeah. Looking at it, I think she pitched this entire game. She did. She pitched this whole thing. Went all the way until the top of the 9th inning before the same young lady who hit the 2-run homer back in the 3rd inning got another one off of Zoriana. And she hit a solo shot in the top of the 9th inning. And we were unable to even it up or take the lead in the bottom of the 9th. Ended up losing 3-2. We out-hit Marshall 7-5. They committed 2 errors. We committed none. So good crowd on hand today. Good performance by the ladies. Ciara Maple, she was 2 for 3 at the plate yesterday. And Amari Brown was 2 for 4. And Zoriana Hughes pitched 9 innings, struck out 4, gave up the 3 earned runs on the 2 home runs. Only allowed 5 hits in the entire game. So I think that was a great. I don't know. I don't know, somebody who might have saw it. Tell me if you thought that was a good pitching performance. It sounded like it.
It's definitely a good showing, and team is extremely competitive right now, so that's a good sign early.
Yeah, so good start there. Real excited about what's ahead. So if you're going to be at the HBCU Invitational, which is in Covington, Georgia, I believe it's in Covington, Georgia, right? Covington up there, which is northeast. Just outside of the 285 loop, northeast Atlanta Metro. I don't know what they call it up there. They're kind of particular about inside the loop and outside the loop. I don't know, but anyway, it should be some great. You got either 5 or 6 SWAC schools and 5 or 6 MEAC schools.
Right.
So if I'm not mistaken, last year the SWAC schools ran the MEAC schools off the diamond last year, if I'm not mistaken. I know we did. There was some delays. I don't even think we got all 5 games in.
We did.
Yeah, so we open up, and there's a few Division II teams in it as well. Matter of fact, we play against Bowie State to open up on Friday. 12:15 is first pitch. Then later that afternoon, we take on Coppin State at 4:45. On Saturday afternoon, we take on Hampton. Of course, Hampton is part of the
CAA.
Yeah, I was going to try to figure out if it's Coastal or Colonial, which one of them. Okay. The CAA, that's a 12:15 first pitch. And then in the afternoon, we take on North Carolina Central. And then on Sunday afternoon, 12:15, we take on South Carolina State. So hopefully we get some good weather in Atlanta and there are no cancellations, and that the ladies can get 5 games in. So it'll be interesting to see how we play against we got 3 MEACs, 1 CAA, and then Bowie's a team out of the CIAA.
Yep.
So, all right. So good start. So, yeah, make sure you can get out to and a little bit later, I'll see if we can get the correct name of where the field is out there. I know it's in Covington is where they've usually held the event, so we'll try to make sure we get that. All right, let's get into our first break here, because coming up on the other side, we got Coach G to give us some thoughts on the indoor season. And I think I even saw we got a few track athletes that will join us as well. So loaded up show coming up here on the other half as we're getting ready for the SWAC Indoor Championships, which will be next Saturday and Sunday in Birmingham, Alabama. So we'll talk to Coach G, FAMU track, right on the other side. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan and Kelvin here, and joining us, let me make sure he's in the building. There he is. Tuned in with us is none other than the director of FAMU track and cross country, our friend of the program, Coach G.
Championship
coach. All right, I'll put some respect on that name. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How's the guys going?
Man,
doing well, Coach.
We're blessed, Coach. We're blessed. Well, we're on the verge of another SWAC meet, but it looks like it has been a great indoor season. Give us how do you summarize or evaluate what we've seen thus far from the indoor season from the men and women's program?
We're moving in the right direction. The athletes have come in and bought into what we're doing. They're working hard, and it's paying off. We're seeing PRs each week. That means they're getting better, and hopefully we'll culminate, with a championship in 10 days time.
Yeah. It sounds like it'll be here before you know it. Of course, just recently the team was up in Chicago, and prior week was it Gainesville or Clemson?
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson the week before, back-to-back meets. What was your evaluation of the trip and the experience up to Chicago?
Both. It's our third year going. The Alumni Association out there, they take good care of us. Gives them an opportunity to kind of break out the monotony a little bit, seeing the same schools are competing in the same on the East Coast, giving them a chance to see competition from the Midwest and some from the West. So, and they held their own. I'm very proud of the way everybody competed. yeah, we held our own against some of the nation's best.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Kay.
Coach, one question I have is, when you practicing and training, you're doing it outside, and the weather's been kind of cold and kind of a little bit crazy. How do you prepare, or do you have to prepare differently when it's that cold?
Yeah, we make some modifications. I have to thank 220 Quarterback Club. When I first got here a couple of years ago, they bought us some curved treadmills. They bought us a real runner, different machines that we could use for situations just like this. And I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, if being outside was a 10, we only got down to about an 8. We made the adjustments, and we went at it. Everyone, of course, you got to warm up over in Lawson. It's cold outside. They warm up in Lawson, and then we get inside that shed and we get to work.
Okay. So my next question is, I'm seeing some new names that are competing and doing PRs and having some of the best times with HBCUs. Kind of talk about some of your top performers, both on the men and women's side.
Okay. I start on the men's side. Our biggest, not a surprise because it was a surprise last year, but Darren Lawrence, DJ. People don't know DJ was a walk-on as a jumper. And, he was talking trash to some athletes last year, middle of last year, beginning of last year, but I could beat you. And it was like, okay. And then I can't remember who said it. It was like, Coach, DJ really running fast. And then I talked to Coach Thomas. Coach Thomas was coaching him in the jumps. And he was like, yeah, Coach, he's actually turning over pretty good. I was like, okay. I watched him one day. I'm like, damn, let's go. That was it. What he did, he just dropped like that. I mean, it's pretty unheard of to see, especially on a Division I level. His first 200 meters was 21:07. His next 200 meters was 20 point.
Yeah.
It's like, his 100 meters, I think it was 10:04. And before you know it, he ended up with 10:28. It's just rolling. And now you're seeing it trend with a whole year of training. The weight training he's doing with Coach Thomas, what we're doing on the track, it's all coming together. And now he can potentially be an All-American, a national champion. Mm-hmm. Then you move forward to Leonard Mastori. He tore, I want to say ACL, MCL. I can't remember which one it was. Last indoors, freak accident. He tore it in high school. Come back around. He's long jumping in Gainesville. He didn't hurt it jumping. He was sitting crisscross applesauce and stood up and it popped.
Wow.
Like that. Indoor season gone. Then he worked his way back. We trained. He was a little hesitant at first. And I said, let's see what you can do outdoors. Before you know it, he came back outdoors. He was third at the SWAC championships outdoors, qualified for the NCAA regionals. And now you're seeing what he's capable of doing. Yeah, of course, everybody knows about Kurt.
Yep.
Kurt is done. Then Joseph DeRosier, another hurdler. Joseph had surgery on both his hips last year. So this semester last year, he was home. I guess the easiest way to describe it is if you got bunions on your toes, he had bunions on his hips. It's just something that happened naturally. Right. He went home, had the surgery. Now he's back. And he's rolling. These both of them, all three of them have potential to be in the NCAA finals. Right. Flip to the women's side, we got, Nia Blocker went down. She tore her Achilles. And but everyone has stepped up. Stepped up big. Janari Kenshin has come in, broke Nia's record, Tiana's record, and then Nia broke record, and now it's her record. In the 60 meters as a freshman. Tiana Adams is showing great promise in the hurdles. Ariana Ladson just PR'd in the hurdles last week. Tara Bert. Yep. Tara ran, had a great cross-country season last year, came back this year, but now she's embracing the 800. She didn't want to run it. Now she's running the 800, and times are just dropping. Freshman Leandra Farrell, same thing. PR week after week after week. So, like I said, we're moving in the right direction. The young people are following the lead of the upperclassmen and making it do what it do.
Good stuff. Well, let's bring on a few of those young people that you got, and also one of your coaches. We got we got joining us now, assistant coach Brandon Love. Coach, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
How you guys doing today? I'm doing all right.
All right, great. Let's see. Also joining us, Tara Bert. Good to see you, Tara. We can't wait to hear that story. I know Tara's got a story to tell. We're gonna hear about that in a second. The young freshman, Tiana Adams. Welcome to the O&G. And then, of course, right there out of Tallahassee, none other than Darian or DJ Lawrence. How you Rattlers doing this evening?
Doing well.
Good in yourself.
We're doing okay.
Well. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, let's start with Tara, man, because Tara, we've heard your name and we've seen you run the long distance and the cross country season, and you've been a SWAC champion there, and we've seen you do the distance. But man, coach kind of put you out there talking about running the 800 now. Tell us about the experience, Tara. What it's been like for you this season.
So let's say the cross country season was good, but it comes down to like the championship where I lost it there, but Coach K was like, okay, I'm gonna move you down. And I'm like, Coach K, you sure you want to move me down? And she was like, yes, you got to trust me. And I'm like, okay. But it was hard in the beginning with all the turnovers, the sprinting, and everything that comes with like the 8. Like, it's like I'm training for the 4-8, but it's really 8. And then me doing my mileage on my own makes me like break the mile indoor record. And, everything comes on, and I did break the 8 indoor record for FAMU too. So it's been great. I have to be grateful for her because I think she knows best.
Well, y'all have some good coaches. We keep hearing about it, and when you trust these coaches, you got some great coaches. Kelvin, any questions there for Tara?
Well, no, I was just gonna say the results speak for themselves. You all putting in the work, and it's showing. So we're very proud and glad to have you on our platform so we can feature y'all to Rattler Nation.
Thank you.
Tara, what events are you going to be running at SWAC Indoor next weekend?
So for I will be doing the 3K, the 8, the mile, and the DMR.
Wait a minute, the 3K, the 8, the mile, and the distance relay?
Yes, the distance relay.
Ooh, all right, you feeling good? 4 for 4, right? That's how it's gonna roll.
That's how I'm gonna roll.
There,
we're ready.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Let me go to. Let's get the ladies in here first. Tiana Adams. I hope I said that right. Tiana, you're the freshman. You're the baby of the program this year. Tell us where you're from, kind of why FAMU, and tell us a little of your story.
Hi, I'm from Miami. Technically, I'm not a freshman. I'm a sophomore.
Oh, okay.
But I am
My
a
apologies.
freshman, kinda to like D1. Like I went to a JUCO.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a long journey, and I'm glad that I came to FAMU. Coach G is like one of the best coaches I ever had. He pushes me. He makes sure that like I'm not in my mind. He keeps me focused on what I need to be focused on, and he keep me leveled. Like I needed to be leveled. And he's making me stronger. Like I'm strong. Like I'm so strong that I'm scared of the strength that I have. Like it's just like it's so much for me. And it's like I'm moving so fast to the point that I don't even know I'm moving fast until I'm actually doing it. I ran my like third 60 ever in my whole life. The last meet in Chicago, and I ran 7.5. I didn't even know I ran 7.5 until I looked at the board. I'm like, oh, then yeah, like I'm getting stronger, faster. My technique coming here and working with Coach G, my technique is getting better. Like I look like a MPC now. Like I'm close to MPC. The more that I work on it, the more that I listen and trust his training, I'm just getting better and better and better and better. And it's kind of scaring me. Like, it's so scary to the point, like, I actually could do this. Like, and it's only been a few months underneath his training, and I'm already, like, I feel, like, so strong. And I'm not even, this not even end of the season yet, and I feel so strong like this.
Okay, hold on. You got to break that down, because there's a lot of novices watching the show. Like, what did she just say, or what?
Okay, so I am a hurdler, and now that I'm hurdling, I'm getting so quicker in between the hurdles to the point that when the hurdle is coming up, I feel like I'm running through them. Like, it don't even feel like I'm hurdling anymore. It's like I'm just sprinting the whole race. It's like, it's so amazing to talk about it because it's so scary. Like, I never felt like this strong ever in my life before. And
hold on, Coach G. We've been blessed to have a lot of. I think this is the first. This is like, we never heard an athlete break this down in this manner. For the novices, what is going on with Tiana? Break it down for the novices that are watching the show. What is she experiencing? What's going on here?
Well,
that's literally what hurdles is supposed to feel like. You're just sprinting and stepping over. So because she was so new to them, it almost made my job a little bit easier because she didn't have bad habits to break. Right. It was just teach her, and she's not afraid. It's very seldom you find a young hurdler not afraid to run through, and that's the one asset and attribute that she has. She is not afraid. She will break it if she has to, and that's something that you just can't teach. It's innate. They have to have it, and that's why she's starting to see or feel the thing that she's feeling. I had her in the win an NCAA championship back in 2009, and it was the same way. He didn't understand what he was doing. He just ran, and the feeling came, and it was more about a feeling, and that's what hurdling is. But most of the time, you have to teach people to get out of their head and then feel. Now she can just feel it. So, sky's the limits, and that's what it's supposed to feel like.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin. Anything?
Well, I noticed Coach is got a keen eye for moving pieces to things that they didn't normally do. So I want to hear from Denia. What did you run in high school? In terms of events.
In high school, I was kind of like I was doing a lot. Like, I did the 100, the 200, 100 hurdles, 4x1, 4x2.
Good Lord.
Like, I was really just doing anything that they put me in, because, like, I can't really control it. If they put me in, I got to run it.
Right. So you track is one of those sports I always say you got to love it, because it's hard to get out there and train for it with the weather conditions and all that running. I ran in high school too. I wasn't very good. I wasn't like y'all, but yeah, it's a sport you gotta love, or you'll quit on it. So, I want to ask the same question for Tara real quick. What did you do in high school? What events?
So the events I did in high school was 8 and 15. Those were actually my events. The 8 and the 15. But in high school, the 8 was like a brutal to me. Like, it was so brutal because every time I feel like I get it, I don't get it, because I always think I'm not fast enough, or when I reach the last 100 or the last 200, then I have a problem with like sprinting or giving my all. I don't know. The 8 was just not me. So I do love the 15 more, but we'll see.
Okay. All right.
And what events are you going to be running, Tiana?
I'm going to be running the 60 and the 60 hurdles. Okay. But that's all I know of.
That's it. That's it.
They told me so.
Look, we tap out right there. We tap out right there. You talk about gotta love it. I'm glad she stuck it, because it was a couple of days. The reason I had Brandon come on is because Brandon ran for me when I first got here, And now he's kind of my buffer because he can relate a little bit more, talk me off the ledge because Tyron almost wasn't sitting here talking to us.
Okay. Hold on. That's a great transition. Let's go to Coach Love, Coach Brandon Love. We'll go to you, Coach. Come on. There's a story to tell. How's it doing, Coach? Good to have you on the show.
It's going good.
What's it like being on the other side here working with Coach G instead of listening to him bark at you? Now you actually kind of help talk him or calm him down a little bit.
So it's interesting. I talk to him about this all the time. When I ran for him, I was a 400 runner, and 400 workouts are real hard. Like you die every day, and he used to bark at me every day, and I was like, is it really that serious? But from this perspective, I mean, I get it. I get it. Somebody has to push the athletes. Sometimes they don't push themselves, but the coaches, that's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think we have a different approach. But I think sometimes I can connect with them. Sometimes he can connect with them a little better. And we just kind of, go about it that way. We work together in that way.
All right. Good stuff. Let's go to the hometown kid, the hometown guy right there from out of Tallahassee, Lincoln High Zone, DJ, Darian Lawrence. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on to the show. Okay. So Coach described you going from field events, right? Am I saying that right? You went from field events to now you are running. What? Give us a little background.
It's I think my whole college career has been a long journey. I mean, I am a hometown kid. I went to Lincoln High School, went to Fairview for middle school. It's funny story. Fairview, I did nothing but run the 800 in 400 and high jump. And then I went to high school at Lincoln, and all I did was high jump. I said, I'm not running anymore. I did no running at all in high school. Played a bunch of different sports, football, basketball, high jumped. And then crazy enough, I played two years of college football up in Pennsylvania at Lehigh University. And then end up transferring the middle of my sophomore year to walk on the track team. Coach won't want to tell you, but he almost ain't let me on the team. He gave me a runaround. That was when he first got there, and that's what he's supposed to do. Like he just got in. He's got to see if the kid actually want to get on the team. That's what he did with me. He wholeheartedly made sure I wanted to be there, and because I was persistent in it and trying to get on the team, he allowed me to walk on. If I was trying to walk on as a sprinter, I tell you, I wouldn't have been there. I wouldn't have been on the team. I tell you that much. But because I walked on as a high jumper, I was able to get on the team. High jumping was okay. I had a decent high jump stint. Long jump, I just started learning it. I was only long jump for about maybe 2 years, and then as he kind of hinted on, the middle of last year, because 2 years ago they put the jumpers in the 100 meter at our spring break meet, and I went 10.82. But luckily, most of our sprinters were like not hurt, so he couldn't put me on the 4x1. But then we just ran it back last year, just for fun. Throw me in a 100 meter, and I ended up running a little fast, so he grabbed me by the reins, and I was on the 4x1 after that. Yeah, that's kind of like my whole little situation. And I mean, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing.
And again, just to let people know, you set the school record in the 60 meters with a time of 6.69. 6.59. Okay, see, they got it wrong on the website. So 6.59. We had to update that on the SWAC website. See, they got 6.69. But it was 6.59.
Yes, sir.
What did that, your story and your trajectory, what did that feel like to you when you kind of looked up there and saw the number and then come to find out that was a school record?
Well, truth be told, I think I had broke it originally in the December Clemson meet with 662. So this whole indoor season, I've been trying to just perfect my technique and work at that to get faster. Because like Coach G was saying, I kind of just popped out with no technique and just running. You know what I'm saying? So that's where kind of Coach G is good at, is what Tiana was hinting at earlier. Like Coach G is the one who's getting that technique down. Like Coach Thomas helped me in the weight room to get stronger, to be able to put that much output into the ground, and Coach G is really getting me on the technique to hone that speed further and to drop time. So this whole indoor season, it's just been about my technique and really honing and getting that down week after week after week. So I knew the time was going to drop. When it did, it's just a matter of time and a matter of just focus.
And we talked about the 60, but he broke the school record in the 200 meters as well. In that same meet, he ran 20.96.
Yeah.
Wow. That, when you start to think about the legends that have run track at FAMU, I mean, look, you still got championships to win, so I don't want to get too nostalgic with you just yet, DJ. But does it? What is it? How does it motivate you going into the championships, the indoor? What are your thoughts here, getting ready to go into these events next weekend?
Going into next weekend, I mean, I truth be told, I'm a simple dude. Like I try not to think about too much bigger things. I try to just take it day by day, week by week, practice by practice. So I'm just going to do everything I can every time I step out on the track for practice and try to hone that further. So when I get to the meet, it's nothing but muscle memory, and we're out there just having fun, giving glory to God.
True. Coach G, let me ask you this. We have seen our women's program be very, very competitive indoor, outdoor the last 2-3 seasons. We've seen a slow rise for the men. Is this the year? I'm not gonna put you on the spot, Coach. But you every now and then you will drop some gems on us. What can we expect from not just the women but the men next week in Birmingham?
What I'll say is their destiny is in their hands. It's up to them. They want it. They know exactly what they want. They talked amongst themselves. Everyone has to do their part. If they do their part, I think we'll be in a good position to contend. But it's completely up to them. It's like I handle the men a little bit differently than I do the women.
Sure.
Because as a guy on our team, I try and coach them the way my coach coached me. And that's the ball's in your court. You make it happen. I expect you guys to hold each other accountable. The women I have to talk to a little bit more. They need a little bit more stroking, a little bit more understanding. The guys, no, get it done. They know what they have to do, and it's on them.
Well said. Kelvin, you got anything?
Yeah, I want to ask Coach Love, why did he decide or want to get into coaching on the coaching side?
So I started running at FAM in 2018 or 2019, and I had been here for 4 or 5 seasons, and I had been through 10, 12 coaches on the FAMU coaching staff. And when Coach G came in, I think the main thing that I learned was there's kind of levels to this. There are really knowledgeable coaches out there. And I learned so much about track in 4-5 months, just kind of working with him, talking with him every day, talking with him about my, practices, performances and whatnot. And I said, I kind of want to keep doing this. It's just, I love being around track. I really enjoy it. And then kind of once I started my first year, I was still in school. I was in grad school. But kind of once I got into it that first year, I really kind of fell in love with it, seeing the athletes perform, do well. When they pee, I tell people all the time, I get more nervous when they're on the track, especially for the 400, than when I'm on the track. Like, my heart's beating fast. I'm over there. I can barely watch, but I have to. But yeah, it's just something I really love to do, and it's been a great journey and process since I've started.
So is that who you primarily work with, the quarter milers?
Yeah, I primarily work with the quarter milers, but I also work with the short sprinters and a lot of the time long sprinters as well, or long hurlers as well.
He really has an eye. He's picked up a lot. I trust him, which was very hard for me. But the time that we spent together, he really started to see what I see, and it makes it easier for me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on, because he's been an integral part in what we're doing and where we're going.
I don't know, DJ, did we find out from you which events you're running next weekend, and just kind of confirm it for us if you can, or let people know which events you're running next week?
Definitely running the 60 and the 200. We'll see about anything else.
You're ready if called upon. That's what it sounds like, right? You ain't got to say nothing. It's all good. We know that. It's all good.
Coach G,
yeah.
Some of the performances you've seen with the SWAC. SWAC is generally competitive and have really good athletes in it. Handicap the field a little bit for next week.
I mean, Alabama State, of course. I mean, Richie Bean is going to bring his best. I mean, it's the reason why he has 40 championships. So they're not going to lay down. They're going to fight, and we're going to have to fight harder. I think Alabama A&M has come up some as far as distance is concerned. Their 400 group is looking pretty good on the women's side, so they're going to be contenders. They're going to make us run. On the men's side, Texas Southern has a lot of field events. The men's side is pretty spread out, but I would have to say on the women's side, Alabama State, of course, is going to be our main competition. But again, you can't sleep on anybody because you have to get it done on that day. Right. It doesn't matter what we have done throughout this season. If we don't show up on Saturday, there is no Sunday. I tell them, y'all know, Rocky IV, there is no tomorrow if we don't handle today. And that's what it's about, making sure we're ready to take their best punch on Saturday and give our best punch to make it back to Sunday.
Got a couple questions from the chat for you, Coach. And maybe if you want to answer, you maybe mentioned this a little bit already, but one of our friends in the chat kind of asked about Janari Kenshin. And then you had mentioned Naya a little bit earlier. Maybe for anybody who might have missed it, let us know how she's doing.
Okay. Naya had her surgery. She's recovering well. She's out at the track trying to race walk. Like, I'm ready to go, Coach. I'm like, no, we're not rushing anything. It's good. Let's just let it run its course. But the doctor said my body is healing. It's remarkable. They never said, I don't care. We're going to take our time so we can get ready for next year. Janari has grown leaps and bounds, and you're starting to see it come together. Excited to see what she's going to do. Actually, before Janari broke the record, DeAndre Gaines had broke the record. Mm-hmm. And then Janari, so she's coming along. Then you got, everyone's moving, but as far as Janari, she's leaps and bounds. She's PR the 200 she's running. She's reached personal best both times. And I'm looking for the same to happen next week.
Boy, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun just watching us compete against us. I mean, we got some of the fastest women in the SWAC. I mean, sure, we can sprinkle in a few other colored jerseys in there, but I'm going to be locked in to see what we do. That's what's going to be fun. The competition has got to be intense. Is there any type of I'm curious, is there competition in practices, or do you kind of hold people off on that during practices, Coach?
Well, block stars, they go, they go at it because they have to be prep. But a lot of times I will try and keep them apart so that nothing happens, so they don't go faster than we need them to. Yeah. And then some reps, now Brandon and in there, they be like, let them run. And sometimes I will, but most of the time I won't, because I don't want nobody getting hurt. And I want them to learn what they need to learn and not just compete, because like DJ said, once it becomes muscle memory, Now you can start knocking heads. But the women talk trash to DJ when they do block work. DeAndre, she will get in it. The hurdlers race today. Leonard and Tiana, they race today in practice.
Oh, okay. I feel like there's some stories to tell. People, that's one of the things you got to be there to see it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Be there to see it. Most definitely.
DJ, what's that competition like? What's that? I mean, because obviously you guys see each other's numbers and things like that, and I know track is one of those things where you have to kind of push yourself, and everybody's shooting for their own personal records. But that competition, what is that? Talk about that team atmosphere, but at the same time, you reach your individual peaks.
I say just me, like just kind of getting into sprints and really trying to like learning blocks for like the first time, because it's been less than a year since I even touched blocks. My block start's probably been my main focus as of like the past like the 6 months. So a lot of other men tend to get out the blocks just a half a second, not half a whole second, but just a split second quicker than I do. So like they tend to like jive me and talk all they mess. But I like to say just wait till about 5 meters down the road. We already done caught up with you. But so it's a lot of jabbing back and forth. But that's the type of stuff you need at practice to really to hone in on what you really need to get better at. So just from the first blocks practice, probably sometime in October to now, my blocks have grown exponentially just from the competition aspect of it and just honing in something that I really need to reiterate and get better at. So,
and Tara, how about from the women's perspective? What's it like, especially with some of these young sprinters that coach brought in? What's the competition and the individual, but that team atmosphere? What's it like on the women's side?
Wait, Bryan, you ain't got to go to the sprints. Let her talk about how competitive she get.
Oh, okay. Let me get out the way. Go ahead, Tara. Go ahead.
How competitive I get?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
How competitive I get, Coach G.
Last week, if looks could have killed, she would have killed somebody.
Come on, Tara, tell it.
No, because I think I'm better when I'm not like in the mess. Like I love the competition, but to focus on like me and my form, and Coach G love when I swing, like get my sprinting right. So I think when I'm not in the mess, then I'll perform my best. Train my best to get the best results. So, but the women team, like the sprint team, they're really great. They're doing their thing. Like, I'm really impressed. Like, Coach G be doing his thing. Like, no, Coach G is Coach G at this point. You got to give him that. No, honestly, when I look at the progress with everyone that comes in, Coach G is Coach G.
That's the shirt. That's the shirt right there.
Well, I'm gonna say
that's the shirt. Somebody got to get that made.
You need to cut some of these clips, and we can do it for you. And put it as part of your recruiting pitch, because there's nothing better than when your athlete testify about training under you, and then they have the results to back it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a blessing. I know I'm hard. I say it all the time. Hate me now, love me later. And it's just because of, how I was coached. I'm just trying to give back. I'm glad they're buying in. I'm glad Tara is where she is. I'm glad where DJ because ultimately when they stop running, there's going to be some experience that they've had that's going to help them later.
True that. Coach, before we let you go, we always got some Rattlers in there who love to support the program. And whenever you come on, we have no problem. So what do you need? What do you need from Rattler Nation, or what do you need from us?
First, I want to thank everyone that gave towards our canopies. We'll really appreciate it. It's much needed. And that's TB to be announced, the unveiling. But while I have the opportunity to say thank you to everyone that donated, because much appreciated. Much appreciated. Right now, where again, it's always the dry needling, the massage, the things of that nature. Whatever donations we get, they send it to the foundation. That's what it's used for, to make sure that they're able to stay healthy. Our massage therapist, Shawnee Johnson, former Rattler thrower, is our massage therapist, and she's done a tremendous job keeping them healthy and doing her part to get us to where we are.
Beautiful.
What was your account number? You know?
Yes, sir. 1069 for the women and 0009 for the men.
There you go. All right, Rattler Nation, do your thing.
And again, next Saturday and Sunday. Now, I think it officially starts on Friday, but
no, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
It is Saturday. Okay,
yeah,
so
Saturday, Sunday,
February 21st, February 22nd. That's next Saturday and Sunday. Birmingham, Alabama, the SWAC Indoor Championships. If you're unable to make the trip, and hey, Rattlers, go make the trip. I mean, look, Birmingham, Alabama, beautiful city, beautiful facilities. Be a part of it, be there live and in person, see the great 2 days of action. But if you can't make it, great coverage will be on SWAC TV for sure. Always has been on, and I think my good friend Mo Carter will probably be there, and some other folks. But it's always fun. And then follow our good friend TA, HBCU Track and Field, on social media. He always does a great job of giving the live update. So we got you covered. However you want to get there, be in person, watch it on TV, watch it on social media, follow along as all of our great Rattlers are up in there and looking to bring home a double. Bring back 2. That's going to be the theme. Bring back 2 titles. I know we're going to bring back some individuals. You're talking to Tara and DJ. I feel pretty confident, feel comfortable that they're going to bring back some gold. But as a team, this might be a double dip. It's been a long time in the SWAC since there's been a double dip, I think. Who knows?
Yeah, and as far as FAMU, we haven't won a men's championship since 1988.
There you go.
I think, 88. And it'd be a perfect birthday present. I told them that's all I want for my birthday.
Wait a minute. When's your birthday, Coach? What day?
Sunday for the finals.
Oh, Lord. There it is. It is. Okay. Speaking in existence. Birthday party. There it is. Let's go. Man, that is well, great timing. 88. That's back when Kelvin was on the yard. Oh, my bad, Kelvin. I didn't mean to put you out there like that. That's a good year.
On the yard yet.
It was a good year, though. Good year. All right. Well, any last words that you want to get in, Coach? Before we head to our break here again, Tara, DJ, Coach Love, Brandon, appreciate you coming on. Tayana, we appreciate her being on as well. Coach, I'll give you the last word.
I was thankful as always for the support, and continue to pray for us, and we'll do our best to make you Rattlers happy.
True that.
Coach, one last question. I should ask. How close are we to? I know probably it's not happening this season, but how close are we to getting the FAMU relays back?
That's on Miss Davis, our President Johnson, because we got to have the facility to do it right.
Gotcha.
But if we get the facility, it's on and popping.
Okay. All right.
Again, for you, Tara, DJ, thank you for being such great representatives of FAMU, and everything you do on the track is fun to kind of keep up with you all and see the highlights and see the races when we see them on social media, and we can't wait to see you guys do great next weekend in Birmingham. Coach Love, we appreciate you joining the show as well, man. Glad to have you on the other side, joining the world of coaching. It's rewarding. It's rewarding. Trust me, we know. So welcome to the coaching family. And Coach G, as always, man, it's always fun talking to you and talking to your student athletes, because they're always so entertaining and engaging and great stories to tell. So appreciate your time again as well.
Thank you. You guys have a blessed evening.
All right. We'll be back right after this break. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, and look who's joining us now from the FangsUp Podcast, none other than our good friend, Keith Hadley. Keith, what up, bro?
Man, not much. Look, trying to keep up with y'all cats, man. It's hard out here in these streets, though. You know, these Rattlers doing a little bit of winning. Coach trying to bring some championships. You know, it's hard to keep up with these Rattlers these days.
Hey, look, I'm super pumped after talking to Coach. I'm always kind of encouraged and even more excited than I already am about our track program after talking to Coach G. What's your thoughts on what you've seen from the Rattlers in the indoor season, and how optimistic are you that we can bring two back from Birmingham this year?
I'm more than excited. You know, some of it probably is a little bit of irrational love and support for the program, but it's also just seeing that this is not the same track program we've seen, you know, going back probably even a decade. Like, it's been consistent. It's been good. But now you're starting to see FAMU track kind of pick up in recruiting. I mean, I know we can't ask Coach about, you know, the athletes he's brought in, but you start looking around and you're like, all right, we got some pretty good athletes coming in. And you look at the athletes that are staying, and you start to see like, all right, some of our best athletes are staying too. Like, and I ain't trying to, you know, I don't be looking at other people's teams like that too slick, but I notice our top athletes are here, and some of their top athletes don't quite measure up to what I'm seeing for FAMU. And it seems more like coaches pitting the players and the athletes against themselves. I don't see him saying this athlete from this school is running this fast, you need to run that fast. I'm hearing him say, you ran this fast, you need to get faster. That's scary, because that's telling me that they're already probably some of the fastest in the SWAC.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just amazed that we just think last year we had the fastest woman in the SWAC, the second fastest woman in the SWAC, and then he went out and recruited
and the second fastest man.
Yeah, and the second fastest man, and he went out and recruited, and now somehow we got maybe I can't even call him the third or the fourth because she broke numbers. Those girls broke numbers that last year's girls were running. It's insane the roster that he has built up. That's why when I said I can't wait to watch us v us, I mean that's where the competition is. I don't know. Maybe the other schools have something, but when I think about us v us, that's going to be exciting to watch.
Us beat us is going to be exciting, and I love Kelvin's question about FAMU relays because I'm like you. I want to see him back. I do understand we have some facilities challenges, but I mean, here's the hoping that all those in athletics understand not only the importance of FAMU relays, but the history of the FAMU relays, right? Like that was homecoming for the spring. Like I don't think a lot of people understand. Like the later generations, we get B out day, not long after I'm in school, but you started talking about like before there was B out day, it was the FAMU relays. That's where folks really kind of came back for, and it was a huge event. And I know, if we get that track up to snuff, it becomes another revenue producing space for not just places to have something during football season where you can have some additional tailgate space. I'll put that out there. But, it also becomes a space where in the spring you can have some track meets out there. And when Tallahassee is trying to get an opportunity to host major national track events, wouldn't it be pretty nice if, maybe some of these world-class athletes came up to FAMU and just ran all over those hills as they prepared to run across the red hills and use some of our facilities and just left a little donation at FAMU. We appreciate the kind of jingles, but we rather the kind that folds.
I'm curious when you mention that kind of stuff, Keith, I start to think about partnerships with organizations, U.S. Track and Field, other because I'm looking at I know we're talking indoor, right? But I'm looking at outdoor schedules right now and meets at Florida State, meets at Florida, USF. I mean, they have sort of filled in where the FAMU relays used to be. And probably, obviously, because the FAMU relays has gone away. And I wonder, if it comes back, will we be able to, generate the kind of traffic like we remember? Sometimes when you let things go, the nostalgia goes away with it. I don't know. You're on mute, Kay.
You got to remember also that FAMU relays included high school. So they had a high school set session. Okay. And those coaches at that time had coaches everywhere. So all the best athletes and programs from across Alabama, Georgia, and the state of Florida, including Miami, would come to the FAMU relays, the high school kids. And they got a chance to see those professionals compete. And to what Keith was talking about, not only was the FAMU relays a premier track meet, it was the first outdoor track meet of the season, of the outdoor season. It was a part of what was called a spring sports carnival, where the big event was the FAMU relays and the sprints, really. But you had baseball, softball, tennis. Everybody was playing at home. And I think it was also centered around student recruitment. So you had parents and kids everywhere. It was a beautiful thing, man. So anchored, and the FAMU relays anchored that. So hopefully, like you say, it'll come back. I think it'll come back strong. We got a strong program at this point, and coach got connections. So we know the HBCUs will come because the weather is good and everything. We also know that our crosstown rivals will be there too, and we go to the Florida relays and the Bob Hayes and and the FSU relays. So I think Coach G has a big name in those circles also. So those same programs competing in those, they'll come to Tallahassee also.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And don't forget those schools up north. Bryan, we know you've been down in Florida for, a couple of decades, Bryan, but don't forget that, the reason our baseball schedule and our softball schedule lines up the way it does is because those schools up north, New York area, New Jersey, they're looking to escape all that cold. So what's better than coming down to Tallahassee, get some decent weather, may not be perfect, but for them, if they're running in 55, 60-degree weather, that's great for them compared to what they're running in.
When was the last relay? JT asked a good question. When was the last relays?
That is a good question, man. I have to research that and ask somebody. I can't remember.
He said 07. Shoot.
It could be.
Might be
I
right.
Can't remember it.
Yeah, good question. Somebody in the chat may know. Drop that in there in the chats if you know when the last FAMU relays were. Keith, let me transition to before we get ready to bring on Liv and talk some hoops. Started the softball season, got underway. And then we got the home opener for baseball in a day. What's your any thoughts on the opening for the softball season, or just your anticipation for what this softball team might be able to do after what we've seen in just 5 games?
Spring. I'm irrationally in support of the spring sports. Just because we got a coach. Like we have 2 coaches, 3 coaches, maybe 4 or 5 coaches. Like you start going through the spring sports, and darn near every one of those coaches has a championship, which is scary. Like you start looking at that, and this ain't me hyping FAMU up or anything like that, but you can legitimately go in there and point to the golf team and say, oh yeah, they got a championship. Track team, like yeah, they got something. Baseball, they got one. Like softball, and you look at what our softball coach, how she's recruited, like. Having a coach with experience mattered. Like having someone to come after Coach P who had that grind and that experience and those connections. Kelvin talked about, and you talked about the connections Coach G has. You come here to Central Florida, our softball coach can pretty much go to any school she wants to and start a conversation. And she going to leave with something. She ain't like Denzel, she ain't from the white way like that, but she going to leave with something. And you can see where she's left with a lot of somethings. And those somethings are students, but they're also quality athletes. And when a student athlete decides not to come to FAMU, it's not like, oh man, it's a drop off. It's like, all right, just another one coming in, the feeling. So I'm excited. I think this is your top. I think they're your top team in SWAC and softball, but I do think they're going to be top 5 in baseball. I'm just saying, y'all know old Coach Jamie Shoup, he gonna slow play us. He gonna act like he ain't got nobody till we get there, and then all of a sudden, ho hum, just a little old country boy coming up there kicking butt and taking names.
Coach wasn't shy about it this year. Coach said he got some talent this year, man. Coach, like he said last year, he said, well, he had to correct us. Last year was about confirming or validating the program, right? That how he described it, validating the program, make sure all the stuff that we've been doing, it works, and it did. And now back it up this year with all the talent this year. And now it's like, okay, let's go. So this is going to be fun to watch on both levels. Again, and Kelvin, you had put in the chat the location of the do you have that information again? Can you just say it real quick so that way people can know?
It's the 3rd annual Leonard Moody HBCU softball invitational. It's scheduled February 13th through the 15th at the Turner Lake Softball Complex in Covington, Georgia. And it features Division 1, 2, and HBCU programs.
All right. There it is. So for all of the Rattlers in the Atlanta Metro, Covington, just in case you didn't know, northeast corner outside the 285 loop. It's not a far drive. There's plenty. It's not like you driving off in the cut. There's plenty of stuff out there. But it's a great, I'm sure it's a great facility. And this is a great event. I'm like, anytime you can have events that brings so many HBCU programs together, and pray for good weather, because I think last year some of the games got messed with because of weather. But hopefully we get a good weekend and these games can get off. And so it'd be good to see so many HBCU softball programs in one place. So great opportunity if you've got a young softball player in your family, go take them to the event, take them to this, let them see that, you know, these HBCUs have good softball programs and they play some good ball. So should be a good weekend. And of course, baseball hosting this weekend, beginning Friday afternoon, hosting Eastern Illinois University right there at the Moore Kittles, and 4 games. So it'll be a Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock, doubleheader on Saturday, and then a Sunday afternoon. Have not confirmed whether the games will be on SWAC TV or not, but it's possible. Keep hope alive. All right.
You're funny, Bryan.
I'm the optimistic one on the show, right?
You
are.
I don't know if Moore Kittles Field is ready for SWAC TV.
Well, all right. With that said, I know who we are ready for. I'm ready for Liv. I'm ready to bring on LivForHoops. LivForHoops are not lonely. Here she is, none other than our good friend, Olivia. How you doing, Liv?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Look, I'm glad I got a haircut. Boy, Liv came on. Ain't no games played. Okay, Liv. Got her glasses going. I better watch out. Liv Stangle.
Oh my goodness.
Liv, good to see you, as always. Make sure you guys are following at LivForHoops on social media. You know, FAMU's back in the business of basketball, Liv. You know, for a minute, you know what? It was tough out there in them SWAC streets. You know, we had a 3-game losing streak for both teams. The men's losing streak got to 4, but man, nothing like seeing some Texas schools come back into the fold and get a chance to get some wins. Let's start on the women's side, Liv. You know, the ladies, hold on, I got all the good graphics. So let's see. Here we go. The ladies took care of business on Thursday. Took care of business on Thursday with the 80-61 win over Prairie View. M1, Maya Giles-Jones, 19-15, Liv, one of the top performers of the week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, she played phenomenal. I would say I don't take stats against Prairie View this season with much more than a grain of salt, considering they're the youngest team. Like, they're all underclassmen. They have a brand new coach and they haven't won a single game. So while I was very impressed with Maya, I was like, girl, you need to do that all the time. Like, the way you attack the glass, hello, where you been at? Like, I was like, thank you for joining the party. But to be quite honest, this game really didn't move me in any type of way, simply because Prairie View is having the growth that they're having this year. On the other hand, I will say the game against Texas Southern gave a little bit more, even though Texas Southern has been very disappointing this year compared to what they were last season. FAMU showed up. I mean, they competed, and although Talia Logwood she did her thing. Like, she can score the ball. She's done that against almost every single school. They are able to now actually have players who can put points on the board. I really like Shania McCarthy. I feel like she's finding her role within Coach Gordon's system, and they need someone who can consistently score the points. So for her to not only be my player of the week, because that's out of all Division I players, and to earn SWAC player of the week, that just shows the type of growth that she's having within the system. Now, there are still some areas of, they're going to still have to work through. We saw it on that stretch in Alabama. And even when they were out in, when they played like UAPB, we saw some sore spots that clearly need to be worked on, but for them to come out, sweep Texas at home, that's great. And it's good to have those 2 wins to go back on the road. So we'll see if they can figure things out on the road because, the SWAC tournament is not in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
Well,
into Liv's
Tallahassee North, Liv. That's where it is. Tallahassee North.
Yeah, and to Liv's point, if you look at the teams we've beaten, most of them are behind us in the standings, and the teams we've lost to, they're above us in the standings, with the exception, I think, one. So yeah, there's still more work to be done. But Liv, I'm interested in what does Ellington being back add to the team, in your opinion?
Well, when Ellington was out, we saw Purifoy averaging like 8+ turnovers a game. Like there was multiple games she had a double-double with points and turnovers, which is never what you want to see from your point guard. Like no one wants to see a point guard having 10+ turnovers. And so bringing Ellington back actually opens the floor more because she's a consistent ball handler who can take some pressure off of Purifoy. So now it's just not Purifoy on the floor having to navigate the pressure. They have Ellington who can stay back with her, bring that release, bring that pressure off, and also just give time for Purifoy to get off the ball and have Ellington initiate the offense. And then Purifoy is not having to play all these extenuating minutes when you have someone, obviously, that Coach Gordon can trust bringing up the ball. I think that was a big thing. When Ellington was out, we were seeing a lot of gaps of she clearly doesn't trust individuals on her team, and that's why they, A, weren't playing, and B, they weren't getting, there was no type of relief when it came to the ball pressure and who was going to bring up the ball, facilitate the offense, especially when Purifoy was getting pressured the way she was. And so obviously Ellington is a player she trusts and that she can keep on the floor. And so that just opens up the floor even more. And even for the inside, she's a player who can shoot, can create. She can create for others, create for herself. And so, her coming back off that play, creating to get to the bucket, there she goes. It just opens the floor even more for, honestly, the whole entire team because people have to guard her. She's not someone that people can just be like, oh, okay, she's not really a threat. She's an attacking guard who can handle the ball.
Yep.
Liv, I feel like when I watch, and I don't watch nearly as much, not even a smidge of as much as you do, but off the few times that I've watched, whether it be FAMU play other teams, I really like the 6 primary players that we have. And I'm throwing Ellington in the mix, right? Along with M1, Camille, Briasia, Purifoy, and Shania. I know, feel free here. Am I crazy? If we can lock it in down the second half of the season, we might have the second or third best 6 players in the conference. Is that saying too much, Liv? I mean, when you outside of A&M, Alabama A&M's got a squad. She does.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just talking, if those 6 lock in, I don't know who else has the depth that we have.
Are you saying 6 is depth? I just want to be clear.
Well, I think no, I'm not saying 6 is depth, but I'm saying when you have 6 strong players,
yeah,
you have room for 2 of them to have a bad game, and the other 4 can still carry you with the role players. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say.
Yeah, I don't really see the 6 as that.
Okay.
And I think we saw that when Ellington was out, how much they struggled. And when I think of other teams in the SWAC, obviously A&M has the length and has the athleticism. They have no one who can compete with Mo Davenport. Point blank, period. She's the biggest post player. She has the skill. She's playing like the P4 player that she was. People forget she played at Georgia. She's a P4 talent. But then you really do still have to respect Alcorn. Although they dropped a game this weekend, when you look at the stats, they don't score a lot of points, but they hold other teams way below their average. And they honestly, I said this on somewhere else, this is probably one of the best teams Coach Kilbert has put together this year when we're talking about a full roster. Because last year, if you remember, Destiny, who was the defensive player of the year, they relied on her heavily for all their points. They're not having those issues. So I feel like other teams have a lot more balance. And like even Southern, I know FAMU beat Southern. Southern's dropped a lot of games, but when you look at their stats, it's literally like everyone with 8 points. Like, so I feel like if FAMU loses one player, it's going to be kind of a struggle. I think with certain aspects and certain players, they're still figuring it out. Like, again, when they were on the Alabama stretch, to let Clara Peterson set a record for her career high of rebounds, and she's 5'9". She's 5'9". And usually if you're listed at 5'9" on a basketball roster, that you're usually 5'8". I'm being generous because they listed me at 6 foot and I'm 5'10". So they gave me 2 inches. Like, but I think there's still things. I think saying that they may be one of the best, I think they fit right in the middle. I think it's a step up from where they were last year for sure. Because now they're having scorers enter. You have in this conference, you have to have people who can score if your defense is not going to be as solid as it is. That's why Southern in a lot of cases can get away with stuff because their whole identity is defense. But like when you look at when you're playing Alabama A&M, you need to be able to put points on the board. And they were missing that for quite some time with Ellington out because the floor just kind of shrunk. It got a lot more compact. And so I think they have a solid group. To the second or third best, I don't know. I guess that may be pushing it just a little bit.
All right. That was okay. I appreciate you.
Definitely a group that is, they're figuring it out. And to be honest, because it is a one bid league, and the only team, I don't even know if I see Alabama A&M if they don't win getting a WNIT berth simply because their out of conference was just not strong. There's 2 teams in the whole entire Division I that I could see that, and that would only be Howard and UMES, simply because they had really nice quality wins. I don't even see with how many games Southern has lost in SWAC, I don't even see them getting postseason. So all this regular season stuff truly doesn't matter when all 12 teams make it, and it's like, who's going to win? Because we see the shock really every single year. We're seeing a non-1 seed win the tournament. So who can find their groove right before they head to Atlanta?
So let me ask. Okay, so let me one other question here regarding the production of the women's team. They managed to put up 80 in these 2 games. Is that a combination or a product of the fact that you played in 2 Texas schools, or the combination of Ellington coming back, or is this something that they can carry over into Mississippi this weekend? What's your take there?
I think we'll have to see. I think that, with Prairie View specifically, they play they play loose and fast. That's how the best way they play like little young kids because they are like, they're all sophomore and freshmen, but that's why their scores are always like the other team scores a lot because they want to play with pace despite if they're going to win or lose. And I think Texas is the same way. So I think this weekend will really be a challenge if they can take Ellington does play a huge part, but can they take what happened in this home stretch and bring it on the road and apply it, right? So you did it now at home. You kind of found some rhythm, some motion. Now what happens when you go on the road and you're in these different environments? Are you going to play the same way, or are you going to allow a different court, a different environment to impact the way the production goes? So this weekend will truly be a test for the ladies.
Liv is so articulate and spot on with what she says. I want to add 2 cents. We got to see consistency from them before you can trust them. We don't know. And then there's one thing that they can control that they don't always control, and that's effort. Liv mentioned about getting the loose balls and how some of the other teams, you know what you're going to get with them night in and night out. With some of our players,
you don't.
So the consistency got to be there.
You're saying the identity is still not there.
Before we jump to what you jump to.
Glass half full guy here. Come on now.
That part. I do have a question for Liv though, and I was watching the PV game, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I be watching LivForHoops because she be explaining stuff to people who are not basketball people in a way that you can understand it, and she'll use the technical jargon to where I'll get it. So I definitely appreciate that, Liv. So not trying to glaze, just trying to be honest. But when you're watching the game, like, and you were kind of watching just the PV game in particular, do you think that game and just some of what we saw as far as post game and scoring in the key, do you think that may affect FAMU's recruiting? Because one of the things we do talk about is just the size of the roster, and just when you get to bigger teams, it's just like we can't do nothing. Just from a fan perspective, do you think games like what we saw against Prairie View and some of the other games affects recruiting going forward?
For if like in recruitment of post players specifically?
Post players, maybe even some of the taller players. I know you talked about 5'9" and whatnot,
Yeah, so most players, right, especially when you're a post, if you have good coaches around you, you should look at the people who basically whose position you would be, right? So if I'm the same height as Briasia, what are her minutes like? What are her touches like? I'm watching the game, does this offense fit what I'm trying to do as a player in my collegiate career? Do I want to be a part of an offense that is extremely guard heavy, or one that really has a balanced offense that incorporates the post a lot more, not just when it's convenient or when, versus Bethune, I won't forget this. Briasia started the game so well and then stopped passing her the ball. And I was, what happened? Like, did you guys think she scored enough? Like, keep going to her. Because usually once a post finds a mismatch, because posts work really hard, and I want everyone, taller players, forwards, they're running the full floor the whole entire game. They're banging. Like this, the 4-5 position, especially in the SWAC. I don't think a lot of people realize how physical the SWAC is, but if you actually watch, that's why people are all over the floor every single game. Like, especially the women, they play so physical. It may impact it, because if I'm a post, right, whether I'm a JUCO or a high school player who I score points and I have guards on my team who give me the ball, I'm looking at how the guards within her system work with the post player. If it doesn't seem like that's a big thing for them, then, maybe this isn't the right school for me, and I can find another one where incorporating post play is a key part, right? Key. That's the big part, a key part of the offense, not just someone that's like, oh, okay, now just give her the ball now. Like, FAMU just has a very guard heavy offense. It's a lot of dribbling, Sometimes it's too much dribbling, but their guard. You're laughing, Bryan, and I'm right.
That's why I'm laughing. I'm watching
nobody's disagreeing.
I'm trying not to shake my head with these two, but I know you. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Because sometimes they get so. I was always like, if you're not getting past your defender with the second move, it's time to kick it and rotate out. Like, once you get into and that's why I hate trainers, but I won't get into that. Once you get into the bing bing and you keep dribbling 5-6 and you're not passing the ball and nothing's happening, like, and it also, whether or not post players, and I don't know how the post players on this team feel, I don't ask them these questions, but it can be very, it can make you not want to go as hard, because it's like, yeah, I want to win, but I'm not even being rewarded when I run the floor hard. I'm not being rewarded for the efforts that I'm putting in. And that's just the reality. Men's post players feel that way. Like, you want to be able to touch the ball. So it could potentially impact the getting extremely high level, high productive post players to come to the university.
Somehow we ended up talking about recruits, and that got me thinking about, let me find the name, because I don't know if this is where you were going with this, Keith. The Lily Dang, who 6'4", Zephyr Hills Christian Academy, legit. From everything that I've seen, is when you think about her coming in. I feel like Breasia Robinson is.
I think she's good. I think her development has been stifled simply because she's not getting touches during the game. All the work you do during practice, during your individuals, your post group workouts doesn't matter unless you're getting the opportunities to display that and work on it in a game. So I don't think we're seeing her full potential simply because in a lot of these games, she's not getting touches. And I'm sorry, guards, if you see your post players' full numbers, you have to give it to them. Like,
so whose job is it? Is it the coach getting on the point guards to say, get the doggone ball to Bree? Or should it be your guards, knowing that Ellington is a freshman and,
I'd like to think Ellington has a high IQ and she knows what she's doing. I think she has based on how she plays, I think she's one of the smartest players on the team. I think it's a mixture. As a guard, you have to keep your post players happy. And that's just, they're the ones who set the screens for you, who call out screens for you, because let's not get, if there's some petty post players and like, I'm not saying it's going to happen on this team, but where they'll stop calling out screens because like, you're not working with me. We're not being teammates because all you guys keep doing is dribbling the ball. It needs to be a mix. One, I've seen the post players on this team, specifically Breasia, scream for the ball when they have position, like literally yelling. So it's not on her. It has to be a mix of the coaching staff and the guards. I don't know what Coach Gordon is telling them. And if the guards just aren't doing it and she doesn't have a deep enough guard rotation to take them out. But as a guard, if you see your posts, you have to give them the ball. Like, really, you have to. And then hope that I personally haven't seen, because Breasia really is the main post player. Maya really isn't a post. She's kind of a slasher. She can post up, but she's undersized. You have to just hope that they're not going to be a black hole. And I haven't seen Breasia have those tendencies when she does get the ball. And a black hole, for anyone who doesn't know, means every time you touch it, you're going to shoot. I haven't seen that from her. So I hope that, I think that's a point of emphasis that can help them reach the next level prior to the SWAC tournament, is because when you look at the best team, they use Mo Davenport. They use Jada Belton. They throw them the ball, right? Because they want them blocking the shots and setting the picks and doing all that. You have to be, and even Southern, they go to Demaya Porter. Grambling uses Shania Nunn all game. Who else is there? Texas Southern doesn't really have a good post player. And that's no disrespect. Their best player is Talia Logwood. Alcorn, they use Nakia Cheatham all the time, who's kind of like their slashing forward. Like, post players matter especially when you're looking at how far do you want to go in postseason.
You look at these standings here. We're midway point of the season. Like you said, FAMU sitting right there. If the tournament were to start tomorrow, we'd be the 6th seed, tied with UAPB. Of course, we lost to them head up. We'd be the 6th seed, so we'd avoid the opening day game with 12 this year. I think it's
10 versus 12. 9 versus 12, 10 versus 11 in that opening day.
So the first 8 get a bye?
I mean, technically, like the first 4, the bottom 4 play each other, right? So to me, it's like a playing game, which I'm like, we're not going to get that. It's like a playing game. And then the winners go on to face the 8 and the 7. Like, I actually, when I looked at it, I liked the way that it was, because I do think the lowest teams playing each other kind of makes
sense.
The most sense, instead of like having 1 versus 12. Like, even though upsets can happen and anything can happen, but I actually kind of like the way that they did it if they're going to have the full 12.
So they didn't get, because I haven't seen the bracket yet, so you're kind of breaking a little news for us here. So it's not like the first 4 top 4 seeds get a bye and then the bottom 8 play and move forward like that, is it?
Nope. So it's game on March 9th, the 10th and 11th seed play the morning game. And then obviously the men's 10th and 11th, and then the 9th and 12th play the night games. And then the winner of 10 and 11 goes on to play the 8 seed. The winner of 9 versus 12 goes on to play the 7 seed. And then here, I'm going to put in the thing, but that's basically what it is. So the first 8 teams all get a bye. So,
okay.
Oh, so they put value on a regular season. I love that. They reward you in the in the tournament based upon your results in the regular season.
Yeah,
regular season has value. That's
I
great.
like that. I also like that.
Yeah. Let me see.
Unlike the baseball tournament.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Women's basketball. Basketball got it right this time.
Yeah.
That's a big pressure. That's a big pressure spot right there, though.
Liv,
finishing.
Send it to me. I'm going to share it here. Go ahead, Keith.
And the women's
finishing in the top 6. That's a pressure spot though, because it's a contract year for Coach Pressure. Like that's woof.
And I will say again, we haven't seen we've seen the 1 seeds go down in back to back years in the SWAC, and so there's a lot of rising teams that intrigue me. A lot that intrigue me for what could happen in postseason. I think people think it's cut and dry, and I don't necessarily see it that way, especially when you see how well Grambling, who's been very injury ridden the whole season, how well they played Alabama A&M, how tight Southern played Alabama A&M. Like, I just feel like this season is, we don't know. We could see Prairie View end up winning the whole thing, and that's the first games they win is in the SWAC tournament. You never know.
So this is almost like I hate to call it a double bye, but if you were used to playing on the quarterfinal day, you would still play the quarterfinal. But really, what it does, it rewards you for being the top 6. Because if you're the 7 and 8, you would have to play obviously a team who, you'd have to play a day earlier.
It's just hard because then everyone has to be there the day before on the 8th for the banquet, and then you're sitting the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, having to find places for your team to practice, having to find out things to do for them so they're not sitting around in the hotel all day. So that's my only tiff with it, is that there are some teams who are going to be just sitting for literally days. So
I've seen that work against teams in the CIAA, because the CIAA has a similar format, and I always say somebody who has to play it's usually like a 3 seed who has to play a team that has played 2 games and won 2 games, you end up losing because that team has played 2 games and they've won 2, and then you come in we've been sitting around for 3 days and we got to go in, and that usually every year there's a 3 seed or a 2 seed that gets knocked out in the opening round because of sitting around.
So does that become something where the SWAC in general, and this is asking a question that I don't know the answer to, but is this something where the SWAC or whatever conference in general reaches out to the local high schools or other colleges in that area and try to secure some of those practice facilities or anything like that? I mean, we know Georgia Tech has what they have. You have Georgia State. You literally have multiple colleges in Atlanta high school. Yeah. So,
to my knowledge, I believe that falls on the coaches or the athletic departments of said schools. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, but from what I heard when teams were in Birmingham, they had to secure their own locations. So, and maybe because they're in Atlanta, they've fostered some new relationships with local schools in order to, build that relationship out. So I'm not completely sure, but.
Well, I would hope I don't worry about the men. I know the men's programs have connections in the Atlanta area, but I would hope even our women's program, having Ellington on the, there's an opportunity there to get into whatever her high school is, and I'm sure.
And they were there last year, so I'm sure wherever they were last year is. Sure. Most high schools are thrilled if a college wants to use their facility. So. Yeah. It's just the whole aspect of you having, that's only a 2-hour practice. So what are you doing for the 22 hours for the rest of the day? Obviously film, but you can't prepare for almost every single team that you could potentially play. So it's just the sitting thing. And that's what's hard about having a women and a men's combined. I do love that they're combined because you get a twofer, but just some things that to be cognizant of as the tournament approaches, that those top seeds do, although they get the buys, that kind of can be a hindrance on the other end of, sitting and waiting around.
Good point. Let's jump over to the men. The men coming on a first game on Saturday. Tough loss to Texas Southern, 62-57. Bumped up the losing streak to 4 games. And again, what we saw on Saturday is a team that couldn't put the ball in the basket. I mean, couldn't hit the ocean standing on the beach, as I like to say. That's how bad it was. 57 points. The field goal percentage, 33%. I mean, that's
which is crazy. That's so low for the men's side. Like 57 on the men's side is like what most teams are scoring in the first half now. Like in the SWAC specifically, like teams are putting up crazy numbers. That game was this is the problem when you just have, everyone knows I've been very vocal of how like Jaquan Sanders needs to be productive for them. Even in their win, he wasn't necessarily productive. I don't know what's like going on with that, but this is what happens when you don't have like a go-to guy who you can be like, hey, we need you to get like what we saw in Prairie View, how Prairie View told Terrion Joseph, they're like, hello, get us back in the game. And that's what he did. Like he literally got them back in the game. So that's what's hard when you don't have a bona fide scorer on your team. When you get into instances like games like this, when you're in a slump, it's like, okay, who's going to be the one to bring us out of it? Because like Chapman, for example, he's a great shooter, but he's not a creator. He's a spot up shooter, great spot up shooter. And Micah, right? If Jaquan and Micah both aren't on, both of their creators aren't doing anything. Like they're not adding production. So it's like, what's going on? Like that was just a rough game, rough. But then they bounced back. I would say halfway bounce back because that first half was insane. They couldn't
56 points in a half, and they scored 57 the night before.
Yeah.
9 of 10 from 3, too.
That was crazy. And they said the whole game versus Prairie View in the first half that the team's goal was to make 10 threes. And, you're lucky when you're hot, you're hot. They legit couldn't miss, whether they were defended, wide open, off the rebound, the first pass up the floor. In that first half, there was literally nothing Prairie View could do, to be honest. Like, FAMU was just cashing it in. But on the flip side, complete disappointment entered in the second half. And I will say, seeing because I was Terrion Joseph and Dante Horn are their like key scorers. If you've been paying, Terrion Joseph's been a top 10 scorer in the nation the entire year. So like he got 3 fouls, he was on the bench with 8, but to let him come in the game and go off for 24 points, including 6 threes, all made in the second half, I really thought FAMU was going to lose that game. Like I kept watching. Prairie View cut it to single digits and went back to 11. Cut it to 7, went back to 11. I said, this is about to be one of the biggest comebacks. Like Prairie View's really about to win this game. And by the grit of FAMU's teeth, they were able to pull out a 4-point win. But to be up by basically 30 points and not be able to keep a substantial lead is it's cause for concern. And then
I've always said, hold on. I've always thought, and I live. You played and watched enough ball. I have felt like having a lead. I don't care if it's the pros or college. One of the toughest things to do is to play with a large lead because players get relaxed.
Well, that's their fault, and they should sit on the bench. And that, to me, becomes a Coach Charlie Ward problem. Is why are you letting your team come relaxed against a hungry PV team who showed us that they can compete with some of the top teams in the conference? They just can't, like, they've had their own issues, but that's a coaching problem. Like, and I mean, all respect to Coach Ward, but you can't allow a culture, because then that bleeds into the next year. No, are you a dog or are you not?
I've seen good teams. I've seen good teams struggle to hold. It's just something about when you hit that 20-point mark, one team kicks it in a little harder, the other team starts to get relaxed. And there's always a point in the game when the character of the team has to kick in and say, when they get it back to 10, okay, fellas, are we going to stomp these dudes out, or are we going to stay playing relaxed? And I guess to your point, Liv, we stayed playing relaxed too long versus realizing that, if we don't stop messing around, these dudes are going to come back and win this game. So I guess I see your point there.
First of all, I got a different perspective on that second half. This game was an outlier in so many ways. We talked about 9 to 10 in the first half from 3-point range and nobody missing. I think we were shooting 68% from the field. That's an outlier. That's not what this team offense is. Neither is the second half, though, in terms of they shot 41 free throws. The officiating for that game was they were way too involved in the game. Let's put it that way.
Hold on. Just to that point, they had to. Nadalma completely, he was the reason, and I will be very transparent. The way Nadalma was acting and he was very adamant, very passionate, clapping his hands, getting in, like the refs then had to start controlling the game because the energy was just getting too intense. Like it was getting too intense. So sometimes when that happens, in order to mitigate like a physical altercation from happening, the refs have to step in. I will say I'm not a fan of the SWAC refs. I've tweeted that. Like they've been, but I will say to me, I saw that happening. Even the commentators for FAMU were like, he needs to go sit on the bench. Like he's doing a little bit too much.
So Purview got the text and Dama went out like 2 times. He got pretty much knocked in the eye.
He was the instigator. They just saw the kid who bit back, when they're like the first kid hits and then the second one who does it gets.
I'm just saying the man wasn't on the court that much anyway because he kept getting hurt. But in terms of what happened in the game and about this team, and this is with both teams. Bryan saying about losing focus. We got the same issue. Liv mentioned about guards, scores. Well, we don't have a real point guard on the men's team. So we over dribble. We dribble right into traps, or the defense is collapsing because they're not worried about us making threes because we haven't in general. But we turn the ball over a lot and have empty possessions. And that's how Prairie View got back in the game because we weren't even getting up shots. Like the women's team, when they win not because they shoot a high percentage, but they shoot volume. They get a lot of shots up, and then they'll get some rebounds. And the men they got a lot of mid-range guys. Those guys try to go to the hoop all the way to the paint instead of doing floaters and mid-range. They're going to have to shoot more mid-range because the lane is clogged. We don't shoot 3 consistent enough for teams to respect that. So they just helping out, dropping in and waiting for us and trapping us when we come into the paint. So that's one adjustment I think we need to make because we're not going to have a point guard this year. We got some 2 guards who playing the point, and the point you make about Sanders, he's to me he's just like Chapman. He's more of a spot up shooter. He's not great at shooting off the bounce, and more importantly, he's a turnover machine, and he doesn't play defense.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes watching our basketball team is like watching a whole bunch of football players play basketball. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like I was definitely that football player that played basketball. But like as y'all pointed out, like the first rule of any ball sport, when you have to do anything with something, is you're not gonna outrun the ball. And so I'm with y'all. Sometimes I do feel like I'm watching. I'm like, why are we dribbling so much past it? Like that's one of the first things they teach you. Like you can't outrun the ball as fast as you want to be. I can throw that ball faster, you can run. And I think it opens up space. I think it does create more opportunities for us to get some better open shots, because I'm with y'all. Sometimes I get bored watching people dribble. You know, I just saw the behind the back pass, and okay, it was cute. It opened up a spot up three, but same point, like the fact that you passed when they crashed opened it up some. So I kind of wonder, do we struggle passing sometimes too? Because sometimes I promise you, it doesn't look like we can handle the ball.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think it's inconsistency. The same with both teams, like how you saw Caleb Washington play so well this game, and then next game we'll see if he even plays 10 minutes. Like,
you're right.
Well, they changed the starting lineup. What about that?
did.
What about that? They changed the starting lineup for this game.
I think they needed to. They needed something different. You're on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. You need something. Heck, who on the bench wants to play? Like, what are we doing here? Does anyone want to start? Like, they needed some different energy, and sometimes bringing key players off the bench is better for your team dynamic. You need energy coming into the game off the bench. But like Kelvin said, there's not really a true point guard, and they also just don't have, like, when we talk about the dribbling, like, I think of players like Deshaun Ruffin can dribble all he wants in my eyes, because I know it's going to end up 9 times out of 10 in a made basket. Like, or he's going to break someone off the dribble, end up dumping it off, kicking it out. Like, but he dribbles with a purpose. Like, he's going somewhere with his little self. He's getting to those point spots on the floor that you want to get to. It's a lot of east-west on this team, and just not really. The first half, I thought they were playing with purpose, passing with purpose, cutting with the purpose. And then the second half, it just was. And yes, the percentages were crazy. Like, you don't ever see that, but it just felt like the way they were playing in the second half was just not meeting the type of intensity and intentionality that they had in the first half. And for a team that is on such a massive losing streak, you can't give up. Like, you just can't, because you want to be in a good position. I'm sorry, I personally wouldn't want to play on that first day, and they're far off from there, but we've seen all it takes on the men's side is one game, and suddenly you're in the bottom 4. Like, that's how close and tight it is this year. Because even UAPB is still in striking distance of Bethune. They're only 2 games behind them. Like, anything could happen. And we saw 2 scares for Bethune this week. So, if they can play intentional, limit turnovers, all the things we love to say, like, just play with purpose. But we saw it early on. If they can go back to what led them after that stretch of after Bethune, if they can get back to that, I feel like they'll be in good setting heading into the SWAC tournament.
It's all going to come down to scoring for the men. When we score 65 or less, we lose.
Yeah.
When we score 70 and above, we win.
When you look at the averages on the men's side, everyone is putting up numbers. Like, everyone's putting up UAPB numbers this year. Like, because the scoring in the SWAC side for men is so lethal. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, there's 4 players that are top 30 in the nation in the SWAC for points per game. Like, that's crazy. I feel like everyone has that, like, player. Like, Bethune has Jacoby Hetty, Arterio Morris, and then Southern has Michael Jacobs and Fazell Oshodi, who hit that game-winning 3 versus Alabama State. All these people have at least one go-to person, and then we're just like.
So FAMU, you say FAMU does not have that go-to person?
No, that's why they were on the losing streak.
Okay.
I'm not saying now. Hold on, because people like to sometimes take my words and twist them differently. They have very good players. I think they have players who fit the roles that are made out for them. They do not have a player that I'm like I trust them to get us 17 plus points every single night. Every single night. It's guaranteed. Like, we just don't have that. And that, I don't know whether that's, again, people are being pushed out of position, but they got to win by committee. That's how they have to win it. And if they can buy into that and stick to that, then you can. We saw Alabama State, even though they had a big 3 last year, having 3 key players is actually a lot. So if they can dive into that, then who knows what can happen. Like, again, the SWAC men's side is absolutely insane this year.
Yeah, see, being nice. We ain't got no will this year. If we had a will to give it to, we would be all right. You can't give it to will with nobody on FAMU's team.
Yeah.
I wonder what you think about this, Liv.
Mm-hmm.
But for the men and the women, FAMU specifically, well, more the men. It's a new team, new staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to keep reminding myself, they have to learn how to play together. They learn how to finish and to close out games. And that's a process. It don't happen overnight. And I think doing that 4-game losing streak, that's part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Just realizing, hey, you got to bring it because the parity is in the SWAC. So you got to bring, they had won 4 in a row, 5 in a row. They were feeling good, but new team, new coaches, they still learning each other. You think there's some credibility to that?
No. And the only reason why I say no is because SWAC is like transfer U. So like, while I will say they had I will give them the benefit of the doubt just simply because they had a brand new coach, which means a new system and no returners at all, 0 who knew his system. So you can give some type of credibility to that. But when you look across the rosters and it's like everyone had 10 plus new players, it's just kind of hard for me personally, and this is my personal opinion, it's hard for me to give that, especially when we're this far into the season. I understood it during out of conference. I was like, oh, okay, Charlie's still putting in his system. These players, they're also, but we do have players who played with each other last year who should, although it's a different system, should know each other's strengths. So while I agree that the losing comes with it because, hey, the SWAC this year is tight. Like, you're going to lose some games and you learn through adversity and losing those games, and hopefully they come out better. But at this point in the season, I just can't use that anymore because you've had how many games, how many practices. But I will say it is his first year and he's exceeding expectations of what a lot of people had set out for him. So really, I don't know what people's expectations were besides moving the program in the right direction, which I believe he has. So, and considering there was, a player who wasn't cleared, that's not with the team, who would have been extremely impactful in the post. What is his name? I apologize. It's like a state or something.
He ain't on the roster. Don't worry about it.
He's not anymore?
He's there, but he ain't playing, He
just out 1 game, but
he didn't. I thought he was supposed to be back. So then that was 2 post players who aren't playing a part of the team. Right. And so, I'm hopeful, and when I'm speaking of FAMU men's basketball, that this is just year 1 for Charlie Ward, and the players that I know they are actively recruiting and trying to get to come there are the players that they're missing this year, players who can go get a bucket, who can impact right away. So I think it's exciting just to see where he is. I do hope, let's stay competitive. Let's score more than 57 points a game. That's all we're asking. Hey, that's all I'm asking personally. But they're going in the right direction. I personally can't give that type of excuse any leadway anymore. I think earlier in the season I was like, okay, but now it's like, come on.
In general, can you make that excuse for any college basketball team? I mean, as you look through every roster, they're all such a hodgepodge of players that are created through the transfer portal so many times. So where, you could argue when Charlie Ward was playing basketball at Florida State, I had no question about the continuity in the team. Yeah. They were so connected that he could literally come in darn near in the middle of the season, and they picked up right where they left off after he played a football season, where now every year it's a new team. You might get 1 or 2 guys to come back. So I think it's almost, now a passé statement to say that the team hasn't had time to gel. And in the new era of what basketball is, it's almost just like when we were playing street ball growing up, like, hey, after the first 2 possessions, you better figure out how you fit in. If you're not a shooter, don't be shooting. If you're a rebounder, like you said, Liv, fit your role and do your best for this team, because we all know that you're probably only here for a season and you're trying to chase the bag.
And I think that, this being his first season as FAMU head coach, now going into once the off season hits, he'll have that transition more under his belt of understanding, okay, we know every single school deals with mass turnover. So how do we get our guys in as soon as possible and get them in our system to learn it as fast as we can? So that's why we saw like certain teams gel so fast, because it was like, who is coming in, and like they've been through that so many times. Like Coach Theus has been through that massive turnovers, and then like having a player who came back to his program obviously didn't hurt, but having, when you're used to then that massive turnover. So that's why I'm hopeful for Coach Ward and his system of now, like we had this transition, expecting that same transition into next season with every team. It's not just FAMU specific, but I'm hopeful. They're playing, they got back on the horse. They could have easily, lost that game. They finished it out, but this weekend will be very telling for both FAMU women and men. And what they just wrote about playing too slow is very true on the men's side. If you look at every single team, they play fast, and that's why they get up so many shots and score so many points, because the SWAC is just not playing slow basketball. Like, you got to get the ball, you got to push, you got to go. And I just think playing slow against a fast system typically doesn't work. Whereas when you look at the CIAA and Coach Hearn and Fayetteville State, they're the pace team in the CIAA. So it works because they're so it forces other teams to play fast with them. But if you look at a three-way tie, two teams basically one game apart, three tied, like it's crazy. We will see this list be completely discombobulated come SWAC tournament time. Besides, in my opinion, besides Mississippi Valley, I could see a world where Bethune had 2 years this week. I could see where they may drop 2 games. Like, who knows? They showed some inconsistencies to me. So I think this list is going to be completely different come March 8th.
Well, one game at a time, right, Liv? Got to take one game at a time. And we go into Mississippi, and you see we're right there tied up with those.
I said, don't get caught.
No, you definitely can't. You got to take care of business at Jackson. And
side note, if anyone's been paying attention, Deshaun Ruffin has missed the past 2 games. So I think we won't know until Saturday if he's playing or not. But obviously we saw Jamie Mitchell Jr. go off for 40 points against Mississippi Valley, but that could play a factor in the type of JSU team you're getting. Because obviously Deshaun is obviously leading the way for SWAC Player of the Year. But yeah, and guess what? I'll be actually in studio on Saturday, so you can watch me.
Let's go, Liv. Watch, support.
In studio.
Make sure I support Liv, man.
So
Liv
good
dropping
opportunity. Good opportunity, Rattlers. Look, we take on D. Exactly.
Big timer.
You see it. You see her. You got to say. But Jackson State, FAMU, Jackson State, good. Should be a good game. Both ends for the women. Starting at now those times is that
Eastern?
It says Eastern Standard.
That's Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was later, but okay, we'll take it. 1:00 Eastern, 3:30 for the men, or 30 minutes after the women. And so it lives in the studio. That means in between games, you can hear Liv breaking it down with the HBCU Go crew. That'll be good. That'll be interesting. And good stuff. Good stuff.
And yes, we do play Alcorn tomorrow, which will be a challenge because they're coming off of a loss.
Oh, yeah.
And so now, and they play good at home, I will say. So anyone who's going to be watching the game tomorrow, Alcorn plays phenomenal at home. I think they have a very less intimate than Bethune, but they have a very intimate gym where it's conducive to, to play into their hands. And again, they're coming off of a loss. They want to stay in contingency of that number 1 seed because now they're 1 game behind. And so then you better come in and ready to literally battle. Like, it's going to be a fight. They have to be able to put up points, because if you don't, you're playing into Alcorn's hands. Like, that's what they live for. So they're going to have to play with some pace, hit the glass, defend the 3. it's going to be that's going to be a really good stage to see if they could take what they did into this week. So,
and that game will be on the Alcorn State Sports Network on YouTube. Good friend Charles Edmond will be on the broadcast, and so get over to YouTube to watch that feed. Drew said, make sure you find some time to go by the Morehouse Clark game following. That should be a good atmosphere.
I was about to say something, but
I mean, the way you were nicely saying that their gym was small and professional. I tell you, Liv, look, there you go. She used them GRE
Wait a minute,
words.
but hold on. That game is going to be at Morehouse, though, Liv. It's not going to be at Clark. That game is at Morehouse.
No, she was talking about the Alcorn gym. She called their gym intimate, and then she was so classy to not call Bethune's gym small.
No,
which is actually that's hard for me. That's really hard for me.
Also, look, you're so professional. That's why she's
getting there. She's getting
Hallelujah.
You know, she don't always have to tell you everything she thinks, even though she will. She'll find a nice way to say it. It's hard.
I ain't gotta act right. Get your tetanus shot. You going over to cooking?
It's hard.
I'm dead.
See, you Keith, you're the one that needs the help. You're the one that needs the help. Okay, Liv, hey, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. As always, thank you for the great time and the commentary. Spend Valentine's Day with Liv on HBCU Go.
And that's a reminder in case anyone who didn't get their person a Valentine's Day gift, you got about 3 days.
Any pro tips, Liv? Any pro tips you want to give to the fellas?
I mean, it's so simple. Just get flowers. They sell them everywhere. It's really that simple. And if you find one thing, most women just like thoughtful gifts, right? So if you know what she likes or what your significant other, let me not, whatever your significant other likes, favorite drinks, favorite candies, take them to a nice dinner. It's really
a nice dinner.
Yeah.
There you go. Look, if she likes seafood, go to Sam's. Sam's has crabs.
Wait a minute, she didn't say nothing about cooking. She said go to a restaurant.
You do the cooking. You don't make her cook. You cook for her.
Right.
Please do not ask your significant other to cook for you on Valentine's Day. No. You might get an argument.
Right. And don't act like Walgreens. Look, I already went to Walgreens and got my teddy bear. I wasn't playing.
Teddy bear, a card, some chocolate, something. Write a heartfelt little note in there.
ABC gonna have a discount.
Make a playlist for them and then share it with them the morning of. See,
pro tip. Game. Pro tip from
Hey Brian, make sure you wear your earring.
You don't have it on tonight?
No, I don't. All right, it's time for you to go. Liv. Liv, we appreciate you. We thank you for taking time with us. We look forward again. Make sure to check the game out Saturday. Liv will be in the studio. HBCU Go has the game, the doubleheader, FAMU-Jackson State doubleheader. Make sure to check it out. 1:00 start Eastern, 1 Eastern, 3:30 for the men's game following. Liv will be in studio pregame, halftime, mid-game, halftime, post-game, I'm sure. So plenty of Liv on TV. All right. That's how we love it. Rising star. She's here. Take care, Liv. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Liv.
All right. Bye. All right. Good stuff. Boy, y'all a mess. Keith always get me in trouble. Let's take a short break. I need to get my slide. I know there was some recruiting, some ladies, maybe some updated recruiting news to share, maybe things that we missed post the recruiting show last week. Guys who have signed since then. I know we have a new
one coach announcement.
One coaching announcement. So I'm gonna get all those graphics together as we come out of this break. So hang tight. Bryan, Kelvin, Keith, right here on the O&G StrikeZone. We'll be back in just a moment after these words.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
And we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
And what about HBCUs? You mentioned.
Absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you got to make sure they're properly funded. You know, the real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. Okay? That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
Right? I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot. It might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Yeah, it'd be helpful if I had our screens up and going. I was ready for everything but us. How about that?
All good, my brother.
Yeah, and then Keith, you're on mute.
I am. I was saying, Bryan, you got to keep your Valentine's Day straight. You know, you got to keep it right, man.
No words. Today's Thursday, right?
You still got time. You still good.
I still got time. All right. Saturday will be here before I know it.
Hey, you got the movie theaters. I ain't gonna say the name of the movie theaters you got over there. You all right?
I got basketball games, man. You know, we got regional in its great thought, the FHSA decided to put regional games on Fridays and Saturdays for 3 consecutive weekends beginning this weekend. So the girls in the state play on Friday. The boys play on Saturday. So literally 3 straight weekends. I mean, you know, our girls are the 1 seed in the region. Our team, the boys, we're the 2 seed. So I'm booked the next 3 weekends. Fridays, Saturdays. My weekends are shot.
But Monday is President's Day.
Yeah, great. I got that off day.
Hey.
How you say yeah? Yeah, great. Yeah, good stuff. Let's mention some bowling here for a second, fellas, because our bowling program had a pretty good weekend in the second SWAC roundup, correct? I didn't pull up the graphic that broke down each of the first 3 days, right? Yay. It's funny. Where we did well. If I can, hold on, let me pull it up on our Twitter feed here, so I can pull up the results here. Again, this is courtesy of College Bowling on X. Let me find it here. I got to do some scrolling here.
And they're playing Friday through Sunday in Baton Rouge at the Southern Queens tournament.
Yeah. So after day one, come on, where is it? Okay, the day one recap. Here we go. The day one recap. We were 4-1 after the first day, which was second best to Jackson State, who finished 5-0 on day one. Day two, a little different story. As we went, the day two recap. All right, we got music on that one. We tied. There were 3 schools, that all finished 6-4. There were 10 matches, 10 games played. Jackson State went unbeaten. Jackson State is just it. I don't know. Did they lose any matches in that whole weekend?
Yeah, they lost 1 or 2. I can't remember.
Yeah, and again, we are the only team, one of the only teams that have beaten them in this entire thing. So we did catch them last roundup. But on this one, it was Alabama State, Texas Southern, and us all tied with 6-4 records in the 10 games. And just by points, that's how they ranked them. We finished in 4th based on points. So we went from being second to 4th. And then after day 3, we have this number and the final ranking. So with the combination of the SWAC West and SWAC East roundup, after a 28 combined games, you can see FAMU finished 13-15 with 23,181 points, which, it starts by wins, losses. So even though we had fewer points than Prairie View, we had more wins by 3 more games than Prairie View. So we end up earning the 6th seed. And what that means is the top 6 teams are competing in Arlington for the SWAC tournament championship.
That's
March 20th through the 22nd.
Yeah,
in Arlington, Texas.
That's a huge turnaround, Bryan.
Yeah,
man. From word
with an all freshman team, pretty much.
Right. Like that. I'm not gonna go too bad, and I ain't gonna throw too much shade on too many people. But
go ahead.
We essentially saw
back. Come on now.
We saw someone single-handedly kill this program.
Tried to.
And to see it bounce back like this, and not just bounce back, but we're building back better. Like you go to Gallimore Lanes. I don't know if y'all seen the videos of it, but it's a nice facility. It ain't the Gallimore from when I was in school, and sure it ain't from when y'all was there, because it was closed when half of y'all went to school anyway, and it was closed most of my time. So
no, it wasn't closed when I was in school. That's how I learned the bowl.
Hey, so
it was closed half of the time I was there.
It's a lot better. It's a nice facility, and man, we keep this thing up. It's going to be a situation up there.
I'm telling you a couple of things. I enjoyed the fact that, and again, I hope when we put the tweet out and we had Coach on a couple of weeks ago, and we asked you guys to follow at FAMU Bowling on YouTube, you guys responded. I don't know if the numbers quite got to where it needed to be, but let's just say they were running the stream on YouTube at FAMU Bowling. So if you're not following at FAMU Bowling on YouTube, just go follow, subscribe to the channel, please. But anyway, I enjoy being able to watch. And what I came away noticing, our bowlers are, we got some gear. We look good. Every day, all 3 days, our bowlers look sharp, man, from head to toe. Like the outfits, chef's kiss to whoever was in charge of coming up with the combinations. And we look good. So shout out Coach Williams and whoever. Hey, we look good. Compared to the other schools, I'm just keeping it honest. When I saw some of the other schools that we played against, even the ones who ended up winning, we look 20 times better than them. So, yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, exactly, Gail. Yeah, the shirts and pants were hitting. So, shout out to Coach. So, I was just taking a peek at the bowling schedule. Obviously, I think there is a bowling meet. They're traveling to Southern this weekend. So they'll be in Baton Rouge for the Southern Queens tournament Friday through Sunday. So again, I'm going to encourage you to go follow FAMU Bowling on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, FAMU Bowling on YouTube. And you can make sure whenever those events go live that you hit the thumbs up and, share it on your social medias if you would. I don't know how many other schools. I think there's going to be a few other schools at this. But again, regardless of, to my knowledge, Kelvin, correct me, Keith, correct me. To my knowledge, regardless of these other events, these are the events that determine the top 6.
What you mean, the SWAC roundup?
Because we do have two outside of this Southern event. We have a tournament in Greensboro, North Carolina, and then we have another event in Smyrna, Tennessee. We've got 3 other tournaments coming up before the SWAC bowling championship. But what I'm saying is we are definitely locked in as one of the 6 participants. Correct?
Yes.
There it is. Congratulations to Coach Williams. Congratulations to the team. Great job. Great job. Now they just gotta keep refining their skills, right? Because we've proven that we can beat the best. You see that team that's sitting there at the top. We handed them one of those 4 losses. So that just tells me we're capable.
Mm-hmm. And it's not an NIL-proof sport, but it's a sport where NIL doesn't matter as much. So this is one of those sports where you can actually see if a coach can recruit his talent. Now that you have the facilities. This is not the sport where we're saying, oh, FAMU ain't got the facilities, woe is me. No. We're not playing at Seminole Bowl. We're not playing over there at the public bowling lanes around the corner. You're bowling on campus now. You got your own stuff, and it's good stuff, and it's top-notch stuff. So this, in 2-3 years, this might be a scary program.
Yeah, definitely.
Those freshmen turning to seniors together.
Oh man, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what Coach Nikki, what Coach Nikki brought in the door 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and we saw what they did as young. Look, over the last 3 years, we've seen it, right? That team started. She went out and got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and what they do, they turn around and they won a title, came back and 3 straight titles or 3 straight championships, two out of 3 years winning a title. And now it's just the program is what it is. Now it's just you're running it. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, and you can always send the program support. Coach was on here talking about sending, if it's nutrition or funds, you can send that to the attention of the bowling. What was the name of the building in Gaither, Kelvin, that I always get wrong?
Lou Bartley,
right. And so make sure to send that those nutrition snacks, food, everything, because literally they do. Remember when he was talking about they just bowl for like they literally they bowled all day. I mean, literally the video came on at 8 a.m. and they were bowling until about 6 o'clock. I was like, yo, he wasn't lying. They were just like 12, almost 10 straight hours of bowling. Woo. Yeah, that's some good stuff. So, all right. Let's see. What else we got? Let's go to some of those before we get into the football recruiting. Let's see if I can find some of these updates in our Olympic sports here. Marcus has done a great job. Keith, you might be able to add in here. So let me see. I'm going to start with this is baseball. Some updates on FAMU baseball. The last time we were on here, we had just talked about the Christian Sheffield. Well, since then, we've got a commitment from Caden Johnson, a catcher, third baseman, a right-handed pitcher out of Jefferson High School in Tampa, Florida.
Pipeline. I mean, you can see. I mean, it's Tampa. They play pretty solid baseball down there for the most part. So you can definitely see there's a pipeline from Central Florida to FAMU, especially in baseball.
Also, welcome to the program, Matt Altman, who committed on the 21st of January. Pitcher, 6-foot pitcher out again. Where, Keith?
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, them Tampa boys. What is it about Tampa, man? There's a lot of good Tampa and Tallahassee. This seems like there's a lot of good baseball players in those regions, huh? Let's see. Got another one here. Zaylin Hicks, a 6-foot pitcher from where? Oh, Armwood. That's outside of Tampa.
That's Tampa Metro.
Tampa right. Metro, right? Exactly.
And we're not gonna run out of pitchers this year.
No, we're not. We're not. Definitely not gonna do that. And then Matthew Midyet from
Tampa.
Yeah. 6'1" outfielder plays at Plant High School. Or let me see. Hold on, let me read this here. He's a class of 26. He's a transfer. Okay, so he's over at Plant High School.
Mm-hmm.
Factory boy. Just
I mean, it's there's pro baseball literally all over the place. I mean, we're talking about a place where literally you're putting a Major League Baseball stadium next to a minor league baseball stadium that's across from the NFL stadium.
Yep.
Like it's
crazy. It's crazy that they just now decided to, you know how long that space has been there? Like, wait a minute, y'all finally decided to get together and make this happen after 20 years of fighting. Now y'all decide all because some wind took off the roof of the stadium. It took Mother Nature to force the city of Tampa and everybody in that area to come together and say,
yo, in Orlando.
Hey, the Rays game's gonna sell out now though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, look, y'all missed a treat. If I know you've been to one of the ones in Tampa, but man, this year at Steinbrenner, that was a nice event. That was really nice for FAMU Day. I really hope we can continue that tradition. And I honestly, I've said it before on my show. I really long for the day where FAMU and Cookman can have a baseball series in Tampa at the Major League Stadium.
And I guess while you're going through the baseball, the one thing we didn't mention is preseason number 2.
Yeah. I was gonna get there. Yeah. I was gonna get there.
All right.
All right, got a few more baseball though. Hold on, we're not done. Marcus caught us up here, so we're loaded up here. Here's a catcher now. For those who don't know, I mean, he's out of Orlando. He's a homeschooler. So I mean, when you see Florida Virtual, that means he's a homeschooler. I don't know if he's playing. Usually, when you're a homeschool, you can play. You can play for somebody's high school. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have that information later on in the year, but we'll have to try to track it down. But congratulations and welcome to Ashton Brown. Reginald Bass Jr. out of Flagler Palm Coast. That's on the east coast,
side.
East side of the state. He's a 6'1" pitcher. Reginald Bass Jr. Let's see. Got a couple more here. Baseball commits. Connor Sloan, another pitcher from Lecanto. I'll never forget. We played a playoff game in Lecanto. I have no idea how we got there, and we lost that game, so I don't know how we got back. I'm just glad we did. But felt like I had gone back in time. That's all I'm gonna say. That little gym we walked into, and walked in and lost. But anyway, there's Lecanto, and then we also have Connor Sloan, Donovan Fox, a pitcher from the Bay Area, St. Pete, 6'2", 195.
And give extra thing about Ashton. If you look up the right website, he's from Metro Tampa.
Wait a minute.
It says Orlando.
Really?
Yep.
Of course.
Lutz.
We're gonna have to talk to Shoot. What's the connection to Tampa?
Yeah.
Who's in Tampa doing this heavy recruiting? All these Tampa guys, man. And I ain't mad at it. I'm just saying, it's just if we're gonna get the state, man, we getting them Tampa guys. And then Johnny Sosnowski. I think this is look at the arm angle. That's one of Coach's guys, that sidearm thrower.
Yep. North of Orlando, pretty much.
But he went to Jesuit, which is in
Tampa.
There you go. See, come on now. And he just recently committed. So there you go. Those are the baseball commits. Got a track and field commit that recently committed to FAMU. That's Cameron Ingram, who committed, a hurdler out of New York.
New York City, boss.
Yeah, recently committed. So
his film looks pretty solid too. I'm not gonna lie. I caught some of it, I think, on his Instagram.
Okay. All right. So I think that's the latest updates of the Olympic sports. Let's do this. Let me pull it up here.
And Mike, breaking news in the chat. January 31st. July 31st.
What'd he say?
FAMU
the what?
FAMU Rays.
Get my ball cap. Gotta get my ball cap.
Oh, is this breaking news? This is the date, FAMU. Okay, July 31st. There you go. Okay, good stuff, Mike. Who are the Rays playing that weekend? And what's the schedule say?
I have not seen the schedule yet.
Okay.
I know they dropped the price for you to watch all the games, like $100 for the whole year or something.
What do you mean? What do you mean they dropped the price?
So like they to watch on TV, because they're not doing it through some of the cable networks. So kind of as you and
you need to get T-Mobile. T-Mobile is free. Baseball is free when you have T-Mobile.
It normally is. But as you and Vaughn talked about, the professional sports are catching on to the idea of owning all your stuff.
Really? Okay. Well, okay, let's transition over to football here. Let's introduce the latest and maybe last member of the FAMU football coaching staff. None other than former Edward Waters head coach, former offensive coordinator over at Tennessee State. Coach Toriano Morgan joins the staff as the assistant head coach of running backs and the high school recruiting. Also listed as the assistant head coach, if I didn't say that already. Kelvin, Keith, what's your thoughts on adding Coach Morgan to the staff?
And recruiting coordinator for high school.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a slam dunk hire in the sense he's been a successful head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator in the OVC Big South. He's from South Florida. He has a relationship with the head coach. He was a successful high school head coach at Dillard. He checks all the marks. And all I can say is coaches hitting home runs with his staff. There's nothing you can critique or be critical of successful people. So I love the hire.
I like the hire. He definitely hits a lot of marks for me as far as I like the head coaching experience. Not the biggest winner at Edward Waters, but it matters the fact that Edward Waters wasn't what Edward Waters is now. So I think as much as you kind of look and you just say like 5 wins, 6 wins, 3 wins, it's I don't know if it was the same Edward Waters that we see now, right? I don't know if it was the aggression as far as
They went from NAIA to Division II, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, so I kind of, for those who kind of want to look at the schedule and kind of be like, the record is a record, but the experience, and then you kind of look, Virginia State, that's cool, but over there, Tennessee State had a, nice little run last couple of years, and they didn't have a massive fall off, and so I think that matters too. Co-offensive coordinator, you're coming to running backs, and you get another Florida guy that understands how to recruit the state. I think that's important, especially in this landscape of what football is as far as the transfer portal. It's very important that you put a fence around the state of Florida, and especially you need as many people that can get into South Florida as possible. We know that's what the speed is. You're going to cover the canvas, the entire state, but you want those people to get into those houses and those rooms, especially at places like Dillard that have that tradition that can help you get FAMU to where it should be.
Yeah, I don't care what he was only at Tennessee State for a cup of coffee because he left Edward Waters after Media Day. So Media Day takes place in mid-July. So we're talking mid-July, you go from being the head coach of a program to going back to Tennessee State. And I don't know, I haven't read up on it. I don't know all the reasons why he went to Tennessee State. Okay. And their season was kind of meh, but look, coming back home to the home state, where you have roots, the coaches, the makeup of the area, that's huge. That's huge. So, and you got another experienced leader, organizer, because it was a tough, trust me, it wasn't easy taking the transition of what Edward Waters did. And he was a part of that success going from NAIA, moving into a new stadium, really building anybody who comes. Look, Coach Jenkins, who's now over at Edward Waters, any success that he has is because of the firm foundation that Morgan set. Morgan made it a little bit better than when he got it. And that's all you can do as a coach. Look, there's no guaranteed championships, but can you make the program a little bit better from when you left it? And he did that. I will give him credit for that. He did that at Edward Waters. Now he comes to FAM. You got somebody with some experience, another adult in the room that, can help, with these other men and help get these guys to where they need to be. And that's a plus. That's a plus. And yeah, definitely like EA said, Quinn is still calling plays. So let's not bug out.
I like the extra recruiting coordinator too, though. Like I think that's something that's very important. Like you got an OG in there, then you got a new guy, not new, but younger. And then you got somebody who's not quite as old as your OG, that's a seasoned veteran that can come in there and recruit too. So I think it's very important when you're seeing multiple guys that are committed to recruiting. That's something we haven't seen in a while. It's just me personally.
Can we all answer Leon's question? With the
you got to pass a background check in the state of Florida. We all know. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to speak ill on people. It's very Googleable. So it's very hard to get a job at FAMU,
Yes,
especially today. So
Yes,
I'll leave that there. They catch everything, and I think
it's
Florida
a good pivot. We can say it's a good pivot. It's a good pivot.
Yeah. So was it level 2 background check for the state of Florida, something crazy like that?
Oh no, you work for the state, not me.
Yeah.
You and Kelvin. Y'all know better than me.
Yeah. Almost 20 years in the game with the state. Yeah.
All right. So glad to have Coach Morgan on the staff. And I think that's all. Who knows? I don't know, maybe.
Keep the lookouts. You got some more recruits that have been coming in that have been dropping like commitments and stuff like that. So we've seen a few of those, but nothing that has officially drawn the official side on the campus side. So yeah, we saw the signed ones go out there, but you know, y'all been watching these Twitter and Instagram streets. Had a few of them dropping some signed and some committed stuff more than signed lately. Last about 2-3 days.
Yeah, let me see where Marcus has us here. I think when we were on the show last week, we didn't have Tion Weiss up yet. So obviously the last one before him was the running back.
We had him, but he was in a different category.
Different category. Okay, good point. So he's officially signed. Official Jalen Johnson coming on board from Thomas County Central.
That's a good get. That's a good get.
Man, I was just watching the clip. Kelvin,
yeah.
You think this young man's a 4-year guy, huh?
No.
4-year starter potentially after this season.
No.
You don't think so, Keith?
No. Potential.
You say after this season.
Yeah, after this. I mean, we know who's starting this season. I mean, short of an injury or something. I mean,
it's some good competition, man. I don't know, but I will say on paper and from what I've seen, I wouldn't bet against him.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't bet against him. I think when I say not 4 years, it's not because I discount his talent. It's because I take into account the advent of the transfer portal.
Okay.
So that's where, and I take on to where I listen to Quinn Gray honestly and be very candid about the transfer portals here. We're trying to help you get to the next level, whatever that level is. And he did not necessarily, quote unquote, say he trying to keep these guys for 4 years.
Okay.
I think he more was saying all Bennett State, and he transitioned that to say, but I think he's trying to create a culture.
I agree.
That's why you got the staff that you got, and you keep the main thing. You take care of everything else, and let the chips fall where they may. But you're right. If you're an elite FCS quarterback, we've seen at every program around, you get opportunity at the FBS level. So that's something definitely you're going to have to consider.
And I think what happened to Andrew Body definitely, even though you would consider his injuries and whatnot, don't discount that is not in the back of some of these players' minds when they're looking at, hey, I balled out, let me go to the next level. And then he's back at Alabama State, where a lot of us, even myself, were like, I thought he'd be gone.
Well, I got some thoughts. I'll save them for later. It'll be interesting to see how that works out and what kind of changes might they make. But I'll say this though. Imagine had he played the full 12 and at the pace that he was going, now project that out going into his senior year. So if I'm pitching to him, I'm saying, hey, look, unfortunately you got hurt. The school can't, look, Eddie Robinson can't do anything about that. But with the system we had in place and what you did in that system, especially against an FBS opponent, you got tape. They seen it. And if you just got to make it through the season.
That's the question. Right? He's never made it through a season, Bryan. And I'm not being disrespectful,
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough. It is what it is, right? All right, let's get back to this. Another one here for you, Denzel Johnson. Another signee that happened after signing day.
A little light as a linebacker, though. I want to know, is he going to be somebody that drops into coverage more?
We played against him. We played linebacker at Alabama State. I remember he made a few plays.
Yeah, it's a good transfer over. A Florida kid. One of those kids.
Yeah,
and you know the system.
That matters.
And then now let's see. Marcus has on here. Of course, Parker is already on campus.
Saw some of his film. He looks solid.
Yeah. I love his enthusiasm for FAMU. And his if you're not following Armand Parker, you should. It's we've mentioned this before. Love the fact that he loves being at FAMU. And
he's all in.
Yeah, you talk about being all in. Yeah. So yeah. So these are a couple of commitments which we haven't seen the signed.
Bryan, but Coach already talked about him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he's already on campus. Okay, good. All right. There we go. Let's see who's in here. Let's see. All right. Here's some that we're still waiting to see, some verbals. Smallwood.
They have him yet. They have him. Yeah, they have him listed on the
signed list,
on the recruiting list. Yeah.
Okay, so some of this hasn't been updated. All right. Post signing day commits, Marcus. Where'd they come from? All right, let's see what we got here. Jakari Leonard.
I saw committed. I haven't seen the signed thing yet. What I've seen committed, I saw his name on the board at Jones.
I saw that board too. I was wondering. I saw that. I was saying, who's Leonard? Okay.
Yeah, I know. If you're from Orlando, you know who Jones is.
Yes.
What they are.
Yeah. Oh, how many people were on that board? Wasn't there like 20 guys, 20 kids on that board?
Nah,
I know what you're talking about. You saw that picture.
Nah, it was like 8 or 9. It ain't like when I was there. If 8 or 9.
No, I thought
for Jones. That's fine. Now, it wasn't all D1 signees, but
right.
Yeah, they had like 23.
It was like 20 kids. They had 20-something kids that went. Marvin says, Denmark is in. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Moving forward here. Another one, Amari Ford. His commit date, he's out of Boca. West Boca Raton High School.
Strong program.
6A school. 6A champs.
Yeah. When that were Kevin
talking about Elliott.
Elliott was when he came on our show, I believe so.
You got me.
I think he was at West Boca.
Okay. No, Kevin Elliott, wide receiver. Elliott, I thought he went to Colonial in Orlando.
No, coaching. He was coaching.
Coaching. Okay, he's coaching at West Boca. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. Okay, thank you. Correction. All right. Offensive lineman Kendall McKenzie.
I saw that one.
A transfer from the University of Memphis.
That answers a need right there. FAMU's definitely got needs on the offensive and defensive line.
That's a grown man. That's a grown man transfer right there. 6'3", 290. It's a good size.
290. New coach up there. I mean, we all know who their coach is. He's got HBCU pedigree and off the saving tree. So wonder if it was just something where he brought some of his guys from Southern Miss or where else, and this is just maybe a casualty, or did he just want to come to Florida?
Great point. Michael, how you say the last name?
Looks like Kashellin.
Okay.
Miami Edison, good tradition. I believe that's one of Luke's boys.
Yeah, it is Luke. It is Luke's boys. He gave him a shout out. One of Luke's guys. Luke, who had been coaching at Edison.
Yeah,
he stepped down.
Yeah.
Solid size for a defensive back. You playing in South Florida, you can do something.
Yeah, 6'1", 185. Good stuff. Let's see. And one last one here. Another offensive lineman, Malik Hope. Tampa area. Okay.
I feel like he was interested in FAMU previously.
Well, Marcus has his commit date was back in September.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I remember doing a graphic for him.
Yeah, I think he was one of the ones that was early signed, but then I guess with the change in the coaching staff had maybe explored opportunities, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But I agree. I think I had seen a graphic for him previously.
So that's a nice get at a position of need along the offensive line. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I would love to see if we can get maybe one or two more D linemen, but that's just me being greedy in the trenches.
Well, we got 3 of them that I saw today that visited. They're not committed yet, but they were posting their pictures though.
I did see those guys up there posting what it looked like, so. And noticing again, the high school ranks are very important. So I'm loving that Quinn Gray is stuck to his word. He's Quinn Gray. I don't count Quinn Gray as a liar. I'll say that much. As long as we have seen him as a coach, pretty much what he says, that's what it is. Now the wins and losses, those are what they are. But when it comes to what he's looking for, what he's trying to do, he's going to put in the effort to bring those things to fruition.
Professional. He's a professional guy, and he's putting together a professional staff. Love it.
Yeah. 8 wins, baby. 8 wins. Plus.
There you go. Don't y'all start.
I never stopped.
Just wait until August 1. Wait until August 1. Or at least July. At least July 1.
You know we lie year round when it comes to that.
About to say.
There you go. Year round lying going on.
They selling wolf tickets.
Yeah. Who's the offensive line coach? Got a question in the chat. Who's the offensive line coach?
Sewell. I think that's the way you pronounce it. He's the offensive line coach at
Albany State, right?
Albany State, and his dad is a pretty good, well-known coach. Also, he's a coach's son.
All right. You mentioned this earlier, Kelvin. Quick pivot. SWAC baseball predicted order of finish came out earlier in the week. We kind of knew it was going to roll like this. Bethune, defending champs, coming in at 1. FAMU coming in at number 2 predicted order. Looks like there might have been a few first place votes in there for FAMU, but not as many as Bethune's. All right. We kind of, it is what it is, right? We know.
Yeah, both teams returning quite a bit. We returning way more. But it's gonna come down to the Florida schools to win the championship again. I don't see that. So it don't matter 1, 2. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And we'll get an early look at each other.
Very early. April 24th through the 26th. I need to go and send my stuff in so I can be in Daytona. Oh, that's Tallahassee.
I was talking earlier. I was talking earlier than that. Saturday, February 21st.
That's right. That's down in Bureau.
Yeah.
And the meeting in Tallahassee is our only meeting this season. What?
Correct.
Yeah.
I have to find my excuse to go up there.
Yeah. Andre Dawson Classic takes place February 20th through the 22nd. Go ahead and get your tickets down in Vero. As FAMU will take on, I believe we play Bethune and Southern and somebody else that weekend.
Yale or somebody, right?
Yeah. I don't have the schedule pulled up here.
Let's see. Southern. So it says
Alabama State. Oh yeah. So how about that? Yeah, that's quite a rundown. Huh? A good
three best teams in the SWAC.
Yeah. Hey, that if all the more reason why the Andre Dawson Classic should be a pretty good preseason tune-up to kind of hype up the SWAC season. And of course, none of those games will have an impact on the SWAC record, but we do play Alabama State on Friday night. Then Saturday night we play Bethune, and then Sunday afternoon we play Southern.
Will they be on SWAC TV or MLB Network?
Coach said that. I think he said the Saturday game against Bethune is on what HBCU or something. It's. I know the Saturday game is broadcast nationally. I don't know which network though. I can't remember what he said.
So that's been a solid thing I've enjoyed. And I will say when we get into our better games, for those who don't go, I'll be honest. I routinely go to that Cookman game because it's close, but you get a decent amount of pro scouts to come to some of those games. Like you'll notice FAMU and Cookman line up. The pro scouts are taking notice and going up to see some of our guys. And you've seen where, FAMU players have been getting, drafted. So I'm just saying, if you want to get drafted, you should come to FAMU.
Yeah.
First team selection went to Jay Campbell, who was, I believe, first team last year at the end of the season. And Justin Cruz and Garrett Workman made second team all SWAC. So
is he going to be Justin Cruz or is he going to be Jay Cruz? Like, I'm just saying, asking for a friend. FAMU could just be marketing like that, Maybe he's get him an NIL deal with Jay Cruz. I don't know.
You're working. I like your thinking, though. I like your thinking. All right. Well, good stuff. Again, here's the rundown just of athletic events going on. You can go to FAMUathletics.com on the calendar. Women's tennis has a tournament match, Thursday, tomorrow, 1:30 against Troy. At Troy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it? Or no, it may be, it's home.
It seems like it's home, yeah.
Yeah, it's listed as home versus Troy. So that is a home match against Troy at home. Also Thursday night, women's basketball traveling to Alcorn State, 7:00 Eastern time. That's on the Alcorn State Sports Network, which is on YouTube. Then on Friday, the bowling team, they'll be traveling to Southern to participate in the Southern Queens tournament. And softball will begin their tournament, the first of 5 games against Bowie State at 12:15. And then they will play Coppin State at 4:45. Women's tennis on Friday will travel over to North Florida in Jacksonville for a 3 p.m. afternoon match. And then the baseball season opens up 4:00 in the afternoon at Moore Kittles. So whether you are in Tallahassee, in Florida, in Atlanta, on the road, at home, you can watch the Rattlers everywhere. Plenty of opportunities to watch our athletes and our programs and teams upcoming. So
need y'all support that baseball team. Coach talking about us maybe getting a new baseball field. They're the last of the sports to get some updates.
Yes. It may be coming. Hopefully. All right, Keith. Let people know what's going on with you, Keith. You got a show coming up. What's the story? We see you here with us.
Sunday, no show tomorrow. So got to hang out with the guys from the O&G StrikeZone tonight. So no show tomorrow. Working on some stuff. Actually trying to work on getting good brother John Davis so we can knock something out and find new pie. So on that kind of stuff right now. But Sunday we'll be back. talking about the show and, trying to open up these call lines a little bit, see how y'all feeling. Also we're going to work with Bryan, get them all set up on it too. But same old, y'all. Once we finish that, back to the normal Thursdays and Sundays. But this Thursday, taking the day off. And then, of course, I took Super Bowl Sunday off because I wanted to watch Terrell Jennings, even though I had Seattle winning the game.
I'm right there with you. Shout out to Beast Mode for making it on the roster with the New England Patriots, a young up-and-coming team. So hopefully his opportunities continue to grow as that team continues to get better year after year. I hate the fact that we may be looking at another Patriots dynasty, or just them being around and in contention bothers me, but makes me scratch. But whatever, I'll deal with it. Anyway, as long as Beast Mode's there, if he leaves though, I'm done with them jokers. But anyway, all right. So yeah, Kelvin, Keith has been holding on to proprietary knowledge, so hopefully that'll change soon. We'll have some upgrades to the show coming.
Yes. We ready.
We ready, right? Okay, here's more breaking news from Mike Reed. Mike Reed with an update. So the baseball FAMU night in Tampa at Steinbrenner Field is where the Tampa Rays play. The FAMU night will be July 31st against the Chicago White Sox.
Yes.
7-10. So mark your calendars. FAMU night with the Rays, July 31st.
Get your parking passes early.
Against Chicago White Sox. Chicago Sox. All right, good stuff. Kelvin, any last words?
No. Bedtime.
All right. Thank you to Liv. Thank you to Coach G and the coaches and the players, the athletes, track athletes who joined the show in the first hour. Really positive. So a real busy weekend for FAMU. This is that point in the year, fellas, where it gets super busy. So always something to talk about, no matter what day of the week. Make sure you're following all of the social media handles. Make sure you're checking out the podcast on the BCSN Pod Zone. Everywhere you download and listen to podcasts. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family. Lee. And Kelvin has a final word for us.
I thought I had read this, but I wanted to check and make sure. It's showing that the roof is back on Tropicana Field, and so they back at Tropicana Field, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, really?
Yes, but they'll be back to St. Pete. That's why I say get your parking passes
until they get the new stadium built, huh?
Yeah, yep. About 3 years in St. Pete, and then they're coming back, moving on east. So
all right, well, maybe I'll catch a game when that happens. But okay,
might as well.
Hey, hit the thumbs up and the like button if you would, people. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Thanks for watching us. Those of you who are catching the replay, we appreciate you, love you. Make sure you hit up our guests and support our program, support our athletes, support our coaches any and every way that you can. Shout out to Coach Gokhan again, who was out there on the 220 Club doing some good stuff today. Dropped a few nice little nuggets, so we'll maybe talk about that next week. But for Marcus Green, who couldn't be here with us tonight, and for Keith and for Kelvin, I'm Bryan. Want to thank everybody. Hit the thumbs up and the like button when you head out the door. You've been watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Be well, have a great week, and make sure to strike, and strike again. Have a happy Valentine's, ladies and fellas, I guess, whatever. But all right, peace out.